Hello, welcome to the FM Playoffs Draft Show. My name is SiMaggio, and we are looking at 0102 database tonight, which is new. This is a new thing in FM22, pretty novel. So we've gone back in time, and we got 12 participants tonight who are going to duke it out. But first, let's introduce who we got on the panel. I'll start on Is it my left? It's my left, right? Yeah, it's my left. Tony Jameson. Well, I should say it like Matt Richards introduced you, the man behind the FM Therapy podcast, a drafting extraordinaire. You do have a title under your belt, which is more than you can say about me. It's Tony Jameson. That's how Matt introduces you, right?
I do. But that it is. But I mean, let's talk about the title. I've got a title of a competition that no longer exists. So realistically, it's nothing really. You know, it's little more than a sort of an award at a school sports day now, to be honest.
JD puts that together, doesn't he? So I think you can have a word with JD and ask him about that. See why.
I think so. We need to get some more. But then, to be honest, the longer that there isn't another season of this, I am the longest reigning champion. So I'm kind of like invested in never coming back again. Like, so
it works out for you. It's better than your playoffs record, at least, which. The less said about
absolutely. There's a reason I'm on the panel.
Yeah, we get you back this side as well. And as you can tell, we haven't got Diz or Dave as announced. We're more decimated than the Liverpool squad. I'm assuming they've both been sent off to the African Cup of Nations. So in their place, we've got Neil, CM, known as CMOnTheRocks, who has quite an intimate knowledge of the 0102 database. Neil, do you want to introduce yourself very quickly?
Yeah, so as I don't actually own FM22, this is the closest I will ever get to participating in a playoffs tournament. But I've been playing the 0102 database pretty much since it came out, all the updates and everything like that. And yeah, as I've just bored you all for 10 minutes with my frankly absurd knowledge of the database, hopefully I can give you some insight on some of the more unusual names that will come up tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely some oddities in here, like players that you forget even existed. We'll come back to him. I'm going to introduce Jord first. Jord, you were very young when 0102 came out, but this was your first FM game you were telling me earlier. So, we got a drafting expert in, and you have actually played this game despite your youthful looks.
Indeed, we've gone into the under 18s today, even though I'm not under 18, but like in terms of the draft, the panel, we've had to pluck someone out who was 6 years old when 2001, 2002 to be on the draft, on the panel tonight. But fingers crossed it will go, the under 18, the Billy Gilmore of this world. I don't know if I can represent myself as Billy Gilmore, but we'll put a man of a match performance in. Let's see.
It's a weird one, man, because even when this database came out and when this actual era of football came out, I was 21. So even the idea of young people understand, like, just not knowing this is a thing. Like, how did you not know this era? Like, come on.
I'm fully grown to remember some of them. The top players is easy to remember. Your Ronaldo's not Cristiano Ronaldo. This is a year or two before he makes his debut. But your
an actual one. The
is
Ronaldo
in the game. He is in the game.
Cristiano Ronaldo, is he there?
On the original database. On the original database, he starts.
Oh, wow.
He starts as a free agent on the original database, and then the update they did, which was known as the 0.68, which was the season after, he's at Sporting, and he's okay. The original database, he's absolutely mince.
So
there's Fabio Pam's in, isn't he, at that point?
What was that?
Sorry, Fabio Pam's in, isn't he? Originally, he's the 13-year-old Portuguese lad instead. The database.
I don't think I've ever seen him.
He was good.
I need to have a look for that.
So the Wonder Kids don't. I mean, this is this disadvantage of the draft mode is all these Wonder Kids that you remember from 0102. They're no good, so you're not going to see them develop into the players. I mean, if anyone goes back and plays the FM 0102 or the Championship Manager 0102 database, which players should they be looking about? I'm going to ask you, Neil. Which players should they be looking out for, which we probably won't see tonight?
Oh, if you're playing the original database, I have three particular favourites. There's a striker in Sweden called Mason Javin, who you can get for $1,000. As soon as you start, pretty much goes anywhere and he will score you goals for fun, pretty much at any level. There's a midfielder who plays for a Lebanese club. He's an Iraqi called Habib Jafar. Now, he's an anomaly in the database because he was actually about 39 when the game was released. The data was wrong, so they've released him as an 18, 19-year-old. Stats other than his crossing, passing, and pace are rubbish. But because he's got that, you can stick him on the wing and he'll be really good. And then there's a defensive midfielder who plays, I think it says SiMaggio in Portugal, a French defensive midfielder called Julian Velas. And inexplicably, and this might just be me because I've seen plenty of other players try and use it, but can't get a tune out of them. Even if I play him, even if his stats are rubbish, I always win with him in the side. So he's like my lucky charm. But there's a whole, particularly like Polish players, and we were just talking about some of the players out in Ukraine and Greece and stuff. This database is full of players that can do a job for you from day one as well. So yeah, I'm fascinated to see who goes.
I think we'll probably be looking at some of the big names. I mean, I've had a little look at the database, and you know they all start with R as well. You know, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Raul. You can make a team start.
Redondo.
Yeah, indeed. Z is a little bit harder, but there's our man Zinedine Zidane. He's in there. He's very good. And you go right to
Zizi Roberts at Olympiacos.
Indeed. The players have just gone into the shortlisting phase, so that means I can also load up the shortlist if I can. Maybe I can't.
Yeah, lots of good strikers like straight away. Herman Crespo, like I remember Herman Crespo at Chelsea, but obviously he was part of the Inter Milan side. I believe. No. Correct me if I'm wrong. PSG was it?
Lazio he starts at on this. Yeah.
Okay. But obviously he's there. He's 90 million, so obviously he might be quite good on this game. And Alessandro Del Piero as well. Like wow, like what a player.
Italy in particular is riddled with good strikers. I mean, you've got Trezeguet, Del Piero, Del Vecchio, Batistuta, Cassano. I feel like I'm missing one from
Shevchenko,
Inzaghi. Yeah, Javi Moreno. I mean, even dropping down a wee bit, there were guys like Rossini at Atalanta.
Casaraghi.
Marco Di Vaio.
Oh, Di Vaio was great.
Yeah, I think Casaraghi had retired at this point. Because I think it was the previous year he got injured. But yeah, Italy is it's ridiculous. I mean, you can see there from the initial list, like Batistuta, Rui Costa, Del Piero, Crespo, Shevchenko, Totti. I mean, they're all the top 8, and 6 of them are based in 6 out of the top 8 are based in Serie A. I mean, Serie A was just absurd at that point.
We have I can load it up on the screen. Let's just switch up, and then we can show people some of these players. Here we go. So we have the list of players up on the screen here. I don't know if you guys can also see. I think you can, right? Let me know you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so Crespo we're just talking about. He's the 3rd most expensive player, but there's no budgets tonight, so they can go for anyone. So we have. Oh, by the way, Mad Scientist is in the chat. He is the man who put this all together originally. All the hard work turning this from the old database into something we can use in Football Manager now. Of course, it was made for FM21, but you can update it. The playoffs put out a file that you can import into the draft mode of FM22, which releases a lot of the players that had bugs as they were switching over. So we've got Crespo here. Looking at him. This is something I'm going to ask, Neil and Tony. You remember some of these attributes on these players are erratic. Would be much like the eccentricity of a goalkeeper. They're very erratic. You've got something very high, like a really high acceleration or finishing on players, and then really low in other areas. Is this something that's more common in the old databases?
Yes.
I was going to say.
On you go.
I was going to say you've got the main issue of the fact that there's a lot more attributes in this database now than there was back in the day. So some is just filling blanks in. But yes, you're right. There would be 20, 17, 3, 9, 18. And you'd be like, what? Hang on, he's incredible, but slow? Okay, fine. Or he's got 20 for heading, but he's got like 9 for stamina. And you're like, right, fine, that'll do. And it just worked. Players weren't the conditioned athletes that they are now. You got to think this is the early 2000s.
My absolute favourite one of that is Paolo Maldini on the original database is a glittering star of a player with a strength rating of 1. No idea why.
Who's this Maldini, was it, did you say?
Yeah, Paolo Maldini on the original database has strength 1.
Let's have a look at him. I think he's been fixed a little bit here. He's pretty good if I remember.
Possibly has, but yeah.
We have a
I don't
strength
think you'd
of
want
10.
a defender with 1 strength.
We have a strength of 10, which is still pretty low. Like if you look at
Yeah.
Maldini's a defender there. He could work as a left back or a centre back. You've got 19 tackling, 16 marking, a fantastic set of mental attributes, and even those physicals are good. 17 pace and 17 stamina, but he hasn't got. He's only got 10 in strength, which is quite low for a.
But even then, looking at that, 7 for first touch. Maldini's first touch is not a 7.
Oh, he played in slippers, that man.
Even his right foot isn't a 7. There's no way at all. You're talking one of the greatest defenders of all time with a first touch of 7. Come on. And again, this is part of the problem with an 0102 database. I'm absolutely looking at some of these players through the rosiest of tinted glasses you could ever possibly buy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm up first.
But Maldini is not through any tinted glasses at all.
There you go. We've opted to pass, so we can just look and see. So we're about to go. We're going to see who's making the first pick now. It should be Penguin first, and he's got straight in with Francesco Totti. So let's have a quick look at Totti. What do we like? That's he did tease that he was going to make that his first pick. What do we think about this?
Yeah, Totti is. It's funny because on the original game, he has a reputation for maybe not producing the best performances, but look at him. He's absurd. He can play really well in at least 3 positions. And I mean, at that point, that was the Roma side that won the league, and they were absurd. An unbelievable player. Like, from a nostalgia point of view, that's who I would pick every time.
I mean, he was still playing until a year or 2 ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's go through these other first picks, and then we'll come back and have a look. So, who did Moza go for?
Moza went for Henrik Larsson, I believe, which is surprising as well. There's been a few well, I don't know if surprising picks, but Henrik Larsson, Zidane was Pumpster, and then Trek went with Baggio.
Has Moza been on the strong cheese?
Well, Trek said he was going to go with Baggio. He's been talking about that all week on Twitter. So Baggio's not a huge surprise for Trek, but I do think there's better than Baggio, personally.
I mean, he's named his team Baggio just to confuse us, but I mean, if he hadn't got Baggio, then that would have been unfortunate. Draconis has made his first pick. Yeah, go on, Tony. Talk us through what you think. I was just about to say,
it looks like, is it Mal that's gone with Oliver Kahn?
No, it's Draconis.
No, it was Draconis.
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, interesting choice to get a goalkeeper in early doors, and a good one, a very, very good one.
Yes.
But when you've got, maybe this is the thing. There's that much attacking talent available. It's not like a modern draft where you've got like sort of 5 or 6 elite forwards to pick from. There are a lot of elite forwards here, so you're not really going to miss out as much by not drafting a first round striker.
Yeah, there's definitely some great players. Go on, Jord.
Hood's gone Cafu, and obviously I remember we were talking about before the stream in terms of fullbacks being a player, an area that might have a bit of a drop off. So that was interesting.
Mal's gone for Maldini.
Mal's gone for Maldini. That's appropriate. There he is,
and Stinger has gone for Rivaldo. So a lot of the top names gone early doors.
Rivaldo looks very good. I'm surprised he took him that long to go. Look at the number of 20s on Rivaldo. So he's got a 20 in dribbling, a 20 in long shots, 20 in technique, 20 agility, 20 flair. And he's got a lot of 17s and 18s and things as well. So I'm surprised.
His physicals are really good considering. It was kind of at this point he began to drop off a wee bit, but yeah, I mean at that stage of 102 he was ridiculous. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm surprised it went so long in the pick order. I think are we on the last pick? Sweet left foot, I think is the last pick. So let's have a look who the order is. So we went Francesco Totti first for Penguin. Moza went for Henrik Larsson. Pumpster went for Zinedine Zidane. Roberto Baggio. No, Trek went for Baggio. He's named his team Baggio, which has confused me already. Draconis went for that goalkeeper straight off the bat, Oliver Kahn. He was 33 in 2001. I feel like Oliver Kahn was playing until he was nearly 40. Maldini's 34 and he's gone to Mal. Michael Owen to Omega Luke. I think we skipped over that one. Rivaldo to Stinger. Cafu to Hood. Reese has picked David Beckham. And Sweet Left Foot has gone for Thierry Henry as the final pick of the round. And Sweet Left Foot is about to take another... Oh, no, sorry. JDFM took Raul as the last pick, who is also another regular pick. Let's have a quick look at Raul. 20 finishing. And look at some of those mental attributes on Raul. 20 in
I want to ask,
Go
do
on,
we think
George.
Michael Owen was a bit early from Omega Luke?
Not really. I think he's got a plan. He's got a plan, Luke. I think Owen. If we think about the modern draft game, is pace. Michael Owen has 42 for pace at this point in real life. Like he was the fastest thing known to man. He could outrun cheaters. So yeah, I think it's a smart pick. Get him in early doors. And again, I think it's that little reminder of going, oh yeah, Michael Owen was class, wasn't he? And I think this is what you'll find. You'll find a few picks, but go, oh god, yeah, they were around that time, and there might be sort of little surprise picks.
Did he win the Ballon d'Or the year after this one? I think he won the Ballon d'Or 2001 or 2002. It was around this time. I think 2001 is Maldini, maybe.
I remember him being a menace in that orange Liverpool kit.
He was. It was in the little pictures, but I had to take it out because it didn't quite fit. Him holding his little Ballon d'Or trophy. But look at that: 20 pace, 20 acceleration, 20 fitness. He certainly didn't have that at the end of his career. 19 finishing, 18 technique. Like he's going to cause some teams some problems. Maybe the area where he's lacking is in his height. And if his off the ball was a little bit higher than 15, 15 is still very good. But if it was a little bit higher than 15, you could have been looking at a really threatening player because likes to beat the offside trap.
But it depends on who he's going to partner him with as well, though. So if he partners him with, say, for example, he partners him with original Ronaldo, then he's got the power, he's got the strength, he's got the bits that Michael Owen doesn't have. So that's a great partnership combination up top.
That's interesting that you said that because he was looking at Ronaldo. Now Omega Luke is on the board. He's written in Rivaldo at the moment, who's already gone. But now he's looking at Shevchenko. So he's got the potential now to go with someone. So he's obviously in an hour in between maybe Shevchenko and Ronaldo at the moment for who he goes with. He's also looking at Crespo too, but he goes with Shevchenko.
Nice.
So Luciano Zauri has just gone to Stinger. I know Mal wanted Luciano Zauri in his chat earlier. In fact,
love that.
You were talking about it in his chat earlier, Neil. Do you want to talk us through Zauri?
Oh, he's an absolute gem. He can. The best bit about him is he can play both sides of the defense. Can play midfield. I mean, looking at that, it doesn't. I mean, it's got defense, midfielder, centre. A lot of kind of original game tactics revolved around wing backs because that whole wing back and defense midfield line tended to be a bit overpowered. But I mean, you've got ultimate versatility there. You can have him on the bench or you can start him, and he's going to cover 4 positions for you minimum. I mean, you can look at that. He's got good crossing. His physicals are all solid. He's the original Kevin Grosskreutz.
He's good. He's good. I mean, maybe you'd want a bit of better first touch in this database, but there's some great the versatility you can get from him is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. Who else do we had? Crespo has just gone to Pumpster. I've seen. Salas has gone. Gabriel Batista has gone.
Batistuta has gone to Draconis. So yep. Batistuta at the top and Oliver Kahn at the back. This is perfect from Draconis. If he sticks Nakata in here as well, I'm going to explode.
I mean, the number of strong attributes in some of these players is incredible. You can see how many 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s are in some of these players.
But again, I think it wasn't the and correct me if I'm wrong, and Mad Scientist is in the chat. You might be able to confirm this, but I think a lot of the attributes were based on the original attributes in the 0102 database. So again, we're maybe looking at the time going, these guys were all researched with really high attributes anyway. Yeah. And we're now putting them into our new world essentially, where we're looking going, 18's very high because we're now used to seeing players with 17 and 16. We're not used to seeing 20s all over the place now, and it does look a bit jarring a little bit. Going, my God, the early 2000s were the greatest era of football ever, and they were, bar early 90s, obviously, but yeah, it is a bit strange on the eyes to look. Going, there's a lot of 20s here.
Yes. Oh, there's definitely a bit of that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Seen a couple of the other guys picked up. I can see we've got a Salas and Baggio strike partnership potentially for Trek, which, I mean, that just reeks of pasta drizzled in olive oil and nostalgia. Oh, it's evocative. I love it. Salas is one of my favorites from the original database. He's just there's something about him. Wee bit that kind of him and Zamorano. There's just something about the two of them.
It's a shame he's not a tad taller because he's got that 17 jumping and 18 heading, but he's only 5'8". Which nothing wrong with 5'8", but for a striker, if you'd have been a couple of inches taller, everyone wants a couple of extra inches.
Draconis has got Roberto Carlos. I'm loving Draconis's team already. Give me more of this.
Looking, that one's standing out for me. I'd seen Moz has come off the strong cheese and has had some smelling salts and has picked Vieira, which makes a lot of sense.
He also picked Paulo Nedved as well, which after watching, I remember how good Paulo Nedved was, and after watching All or Nothing with Juventus and remembering that he's part of that team at this precise moment, you're thinking, what a player. But I think that's a good pick too.
Carlos has some really odd attributes. So defensively, he's not that strong. His marking is only 8. He only has a 10 first touch, where, I mean, if you're asking him to volley it near the corner flag into the goal, I think that's a 500 first touch. But he's got 19 long shots, 19 free kicks. Feels underrated for Roberto Carlos, but he took some incredible free kicks. But those physicals on Carlos, apart from the balance at 4, which is really odd, he's got 18s and 19s mostly there.
Yeah, he was a player I was really looking forward to. As I said at the beginning, like an attacking wing back would be huge. I'd be even interested to see if he could do an inverted wing back, but probably not with that first touch and maybe dribbling and so forth. But as an attacking wing back, I think Roberto Carlos is a big win. And plus, everyone remembers Roberto Carlos's free kicks. It's like proper nostalgia that watching them. If only if they could bend the way that they bend in the game, it'd be absolutely amazing.
Miles taking Tomasi, which is a great pick. He's a proper star on this database. Like defense midfield, he'll absolutely do the job for you. I mean, again, looking at particularly the physicals there, teamwork, work rate, marking, tackling. He is a machine. Like you don't need him to venture forward. Like he's just gonna tackle anything that moves. It's great.
As a defensive midfielder, he looks really strong, 19 and 18. I mean, you could even play him. You could probably work as a centre back if you want for his height. But yeah, he'll be really strong if you're using that position. This is like, so he's got 18 aggression. Carlos, who we were looking at just then, was 19 aggression. And we've seen in the last few picks as well. We've seen who else did we see go? We saw Cannavaro go, and we saw Roy Keane go. So one of the issues with these 19s and 20s is that high aggression, which also could be 18, 19, 20. Are we going to see a lot of cards in this tournament?
More than likely, but can I just pick out one thing very quickly, just to go back on the fullbacks? Danny Mills has just been picked.
What?
And I forgot how good Danny Mills was in this version, but for Danny Mills to go before Javier Zanetti and Dario Serna
and Zé Roberto and Diego and Evan Nielsen.
To be honest with you, I think
Danny Mills having 18 acceleration ever. Was this a thing? Yeah. Was Danny Mills ever that quick?
I'm sorry, but my left testicle with a smiley face on would be more realistic as a pick at this stage. Jesus Christ.
That shocked me, but I was just looking. Omega Luke had a left wing back that he was looking at, Silvinho for Celta Vigo.
Yeah.
That had like mad crossing, mad pace, like 18 crossing, 17 pace. Like when someone like that's available.
Silvinho is a strange one. He only played like 10 times for the Brazil national team because of Roberto Carlos. But he was incredible incredibly quick and incredibly adept at crossing. And in this game, I took him. So we did a practice of this draft back before Christmas. I took him. I actually played him as a winger rather than a defender because of that pace and that crossing ability. And he was fantastic. He was whipping those balls in. Now, of course, this is before the patch when they made target men not win the game 15-0. But he was fantastic.
I've just had a quick
look. SYL, I think.
It is.
Oh, yeah. I've just had a quick look at what Hud's drafted so far. Cannavaro, Thuram, Cafu. It's between him and Draconis for me as to which team I love the most at this point.
We can have a look at some of those teams if you like. Is there any team you would like me to pick up? And we're on round 4.
Jalminia's just gone.
There's some big names.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and Stefan Effenberg as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Mark van Bommel as well as a good shout on this.
Yeah. I mean,
he was a great player.
Defensive midfielders on this game were where it was at because, I mean, you had like Van Bommel and Vogel at PSV, and you had Vieira, Simeone, Keane, like they were just all very, very good.
Decor as well, at least.
Yes, Decor was excellent.
And you still got Claude Makelele in there somewhere.
Yeah, Real Madrid. Yeah.
I am a little surprised that it's taken this long for anyone to pick Shevchenko.
He's still
Shevchenko,
there,
I think, is gone.
No, has he?
Shevchenko
went to Amiga
Luke,
Luke, second round.
Yeah.
I can have a look at who the best one we have still available is. I think Rui Costa is still there. Alessandro Del Piero is there. And Pep Guardiola is still there.
Kazumura.
I'm surprised Del Piero's knocked about, but that might be just due to the fact that there are so many attacking players available.
Yes.
I expect Del Piero to go. Like, I wouldn't leave Del Piero on the board.
That's where I wonder whether is it Draconis who's picked Cannavaro and Cafu. Like, picking your defenders early on this might be quite important.
Draconis has just clicked on Paul Lambert just to
Del Piero's there. Why is he looking at Paul Lambert? What is this? I mean, Draconis has this crazy strategy every time. He started out with a goalkeeper. What is going on? Pep Guardiola is actually clubless here. He's available.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This was when he went to Brescia in this at this actual point. And then I think he went to Brescia, then finished his career in Mexico, maybe.
How old is he here? He's 31, so he's quite late in his career. His physicals are quite low for 31, but he's
very
still
low.
Fitness. But the
he looks like he's 31 now.
He's about the same as
just
me.
Passed.
Pumster's just passed. Did he miss his pick?
I think.
No.
Was it me? It was me. It wasn't Pumster.
Let me see if there's any scariness from Pumster.
Took Francesco Toldo, the Italian goalkeeper.
Toldo, good keeper, very good keeper.
Sorry,
with his
causing unnecessary.
I was looking. I think Amiga Luke was looking at. I don't know if it was a joke look, but he was looking at Emil Heskey as well. But Emil Heskey is on a few people's shortlist. It's also on Pumpster's shortlist as well. He does have 20 strength.
But why are you looking at Emil Heskey when David Trezeguet is still available?
And Del Piero's just gone.
Del Piero's just
also
gone.
As well. Draconis has got Alan Shearer up. 31-year-old Alan Shearer.
So is Javier Zanetti gone? Because I've seen Moz has just picked Cristiano Zanetti. I think he might have the wrong one.
I don't think Javier Zanetti's gone, but he should have gone way before
gone.
Danny Mills. Way before.
Javier Zanetti has not gone. Has he taken the wrong one? Oh no.
He's taking Cristiano Zanetti.
Oh my god.
He's taken Larson and Cristiano Zanetti in the first 5 picks.
Marcel Desailly has just gone to Mal.
See, Moz have put himself back in this draft. I'm not sure. I think he might not make it back in again.
Desailly could be a handy pick. He's surprisingly good. Like, this is the thing with some of the older players, like Tony Adams in the first season is unbelievable at Arsenal, but you just have to accept the fact you'll get 1, maybe 2 seasons out of it.
Yeah, I think on the Legends one that we did, I remember Si did a Legends one. Tony Adams had 20 jumping reach, 20 heading. So could be a beast if he's got those same stats. Could be a beast in those front posts near corners.
So there are two like this: Sol Campbell and Tony Adams, both Pompey legends. So Sol Campbell has 18 heading and 18 jumping, and he's 6'2". He's just really weak in some of the other technical areas. Like his passing is only 8, his vision is only 3. I think he needs an eye test.
But compare him to someone like Jonathan Woodgate as well, who'd obviously just gone to Leeds at the time, or Rio Ferdinand maybe.
Oh, but Omega Luke picking up Paulo Montero. I like that. I like that a lot.
But the thing is, I don't know. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like back in the 2000 eras, the centre backs were more out and out centre backs, like no nonsense centre backs. They were, your headers. They weren't really ball players, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't. When I think back about Tony Adams, you don't think about Tony Adams pinging passes into midfield and so forth.
Well,
you think about just out and out defending.
Yeah, I think Rio Ferdinand was probably your ball playing centre half at the time because I think he start out as he could have played midfield or something, and then Woodgate was the same, so very, very technical, very technical.
Yes.
So they stood out like a sore thumb in the Premier League at the time. Like, what? They've controlled the football. What are they doing? Rather than just booting it really far. So yeah, they were really, really interesting players to look for from a technical perspective.
Paulo Montero was the kind of defender that would put you and your dinner into the back of the stand and not worry about the ball.
Yeah,
like I think he might have had a Serie A sending off record at one stage.
If you look at Tony Adams here, you can see how good he is heading, marking, tackling, those mentals. And then you just come to this acceleration of 4. And you think that's going to be a real issue against some of the pace on some of these other players in this engine now.
Yeah.
Another player who's still not been picked out yet. That's quite interesting. Roy Mackay as well. Remember Roy Mackay? Yeah. He was decent on this game as well. Decent.
There's still a few players like Clarence Seedorf. I don't think Paul Scholes has gone yet.
Recorba.
It's when you realise how deep the talent was at this stage. Oh, pair up Anelka and Jalminha. Chuck in Alex Nyarko as well and just have a mutiny.
Yeah.
Stefano Fiore was some player. Riquelme's still there. We're picking Cristiano Zanetti and Riquelme's there.
Walter Samuel.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we were talking about him before. Inter Milan.
Ronaldinho.
Do you reckon people have forgotten that he played for PSG? I'm serious. Looking at Barcelona going, well, he's not there. Where is he? Like,
yeah, if you wanted to, you could have picked a team full of ex-managers at this point.
Yes.
That's a great shout.
Just
I don't want to reveal
everywhere.
I don't want to reveal too much about my social life, but I have genuinely got a CMO 102 save, and the squad is made up of current league managers only, and it is grim. It is so grim.
Yeah.
Other than Mike Duff.
Well, yeah.
Antonio Conte is Antonio Conte 2001, or is that too late for Conte?
Yes, he is. He's at Juve. I tried to do it at that stage, I think when I played it, Conte wasn't in charge anywhere. And I also took over at Wigan, which didn't help. So I've got trying to get Antonio Conte to Wigan. I mean, I don't know how many wild horses you need for that to happen in real life.
Ashley Cole's just gone though to Douglas Reese. 21-year-old Ashley Cole.
That's a good pick. I've just seen Hood's just been looking at him as well, and that would have filled up his back 4. Thuram, Cafu, Cannavaro, and Ashley Cole. That would have been a great back 4. So I think Reese has done really well to get that pick to stop that defense being as solid as it could have been.
Yeah.
Should we have a look at someone's team? Is there a team you'd like me to draw up? Is there someone who's picked interesting so far?
Actually, I've got JD's team up, which is pretty interesting. If you have a quick look at that.
JD, then. Here it is. So he had the last pick. So he's gone for. I'm surprised he managed to get Raul as the last pick. Considering
Montello was the one that I forgot from Roma.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and he's gone to JDFM. Yeah. He's at JDFM.
Montello, yeah, here he is. So he's got 20 finishing, 19 acceleration, 18 pace, 19 passing, 20 off the ball. Like he almost is a better version of Michael Owen there. With that extra 20 on the off the ball and beating the offside trap, he's going to be the one you can see making these. I can see a lot of through balls on the floor football with this, which maybe doesn't fit into this match engine, but it'd be interesting to see how they do with that.
Well, it works well there with Jalminha and Bosvelt, the guy you just pulled out. I forgot about Bosvelt.
Yeah,
I forgot just how much of a beast that guy was.
I don't remember him being that good. Well, no, actually, because it's all mental stats. Like the weird thing again with the original database was there seemed to be like playing guys in midfield as opposed to defence midfield and attacking midfield, there weren't that many good actual midfielders and actual wingers. It was all like AMLs and AMRs and stuff like that. So that, I mean, some of that will play into the way that this like FM22 works, but some of it just doesn't translate. And Bosvelt's one who I would never think about signing on the original database, but I can see why he might work on this.
Ronaldo's just gone to Stinger.
Ronaldo, what round are we in? And Ronaldo is just
We're in round
round
6
5
or 7.
or maybe
Round
6 now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd seen him hovering over him. Mal is hovering around a striker as well. Don't know whether or not he's going to go for it.
We joke about Cristiano Ronaldo not getting back to do his defensive duties. Look at old Ronaldo. What do we call him? We can't call him fat Ronaldo. I mean, he does look a bit.
You call him Ronaldo. You call him Ronaldo. You call the other one.
That's
the
his name.
Ronaldo. He's Ronaldo.
So he's got
He
one
is the
tackling and
Ronaldo.
one marking and 2 positionings. He's not doing any defensive duties for you.
Well,
But-
to be fair, that picture of him doesn't really do him much justice for what you just called him.
Yeah.
Leave him up top. Leave him up top. Let him do the danger work.
Let him just score stunners from 30 yards out.
Oh, Igor Tudor. Like that.
Yeah, Materazzi has gone as well. Harry Kewell's just gone to Pumpster. I used to love Harry Kewell back in the day.
Yeah, he was good at this one
Materazzi
as
was a
well.
very good defender as well. I think he was Inter Milan as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hood's just
Yes.
been looking at Vincent Candela as well, and I forgot he was great at Roma.
Oh, he was brilliant.
Yeah. Forgot about him, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's a good, because obviously he missed out on the Ashley Cole pick, went straight for the next left back pick, and he's got Candela as an option. So
Moza appears to be looking at defenders at the moment. I think that's the route he's going down next.
I think it's his pick now. It's his pick now. I was gonna say there doesn't seem to be much in the way of wing backs in terms of how you'd use them in the modern game. In this database, there's a lot less. Either they're more wingers. They're a lot more aggressive as wing backs. Probably from systems where they used to play 3 at the back, particularly those from the Serie A. Or you have the more defensive-minded British-style players. Gary Neville. Gary Neville never really bombed forwards, for example. He always stayed back.
Moza's just picked Martin Larsson.
He loves the Larson.
He's
the Danish defender.
Let's look at Moz's team then.
Laurent Blanc has gone to Super Penguin.
So this is
But
Moz's
you were
team
talking
running.
about wing backs, and still Javier Zanetti hasn't gone yet. And
I know. This is Javier Zanetti and Zé Roberto. And I don't know if Zé Roberto's in this draft. I'm hoping he is. Those two are the best wing backs in the original database. And someone is picking Danny. What? Right. Why is Moza picking Cristiano Zanetti? I don't want to get angry about this.
Is it possible?
Has anyone let him know that he's picked the wrong one?
Is it possible that we're going to get to the end of the draft and
That's
Zanetti
a
and
different-
Javier Zanetti's not been picked? Could you imagine that?
That's
a
the thing is,
different Zé Roberto. So the actual
other
Zé Roberto who was at Leverkusen doesn't appear to be in this.
Unless
Is that
he's been
Zé
picked,
Roberto,
hang
the
on.
one who starts at Braga? Who can?
he might
I mean,
be-
he
He might have been picked. We can check.
like that would be, even though, because this is an unlimited draft,
Oh,
right?
he has
So
been-
it's not like money.
No, he's not. He's not in the database.
He's not there. He's not there.
It'd be interesting who doesn't
Wow.
get picked.
We've had a question from chat about Taribo West, so let's have a look. I know this is one of your favourites, Tony.
Yeah.
Someone you name check in the.
Oh, as Greeno's asked, yeah. Has anyone grabbed him? I don't think they have yet. I don't think they have.
I mean, would you grab him? He's only 675k. It's a shame there is no budget.
You know what? No, like not on this. Like just because of the fact we've got unlimited budget. No, if we were on a restricted budget, yes, 100%, I'd have him on my short list. But if you've got all the money in the world, then I'm going for like absolute legends. I'm spending all that money, but
What do you mean, Taribo
yeah,
West is
for
an absolute legend. He's a pastor now, not a spaghetti, like a religious pastor.
Penguin is sniffing around a very useful left wing back as well. I don't know if he's going to go for him next round, but there's a wing back that I like there. Who would you start? Moza's picked Poborski.
Karol Poborski, yeah. Looks fairly solid on the right hand side there. He's not particularly quick for a winger, and he doesn't look particularly versatile in where he plays along the wing. But,
Is Moza being paid to select these players? Because I'm beginning to get very confused by this.
Like, when you scroll down and you see players like Stephen Carr, you're like, oh, I remember Stephen Carr. But there's one player that I don't know. Correct me, boys, if I'm wrong. Patrick Kluivert. I don't think he's gone. I'm sure that he'd be around.
Yes,
Yeah, he
he
was
would have been at Barcelona.
So I haven't seen Patrick Kluivert, and I think that's quite a big player, I think, to not maybe have been picked so far.
So look, Patrick Kluivert has not gone anywhere. So he's 50 million. No one has taken him.
Okay.
He looks fairly solid across the park.
Yeah.
Because I'm just doing my research, boys, on the Ballon d'Or, the top 10 players, and one name that came. I think most of them have been picked, but Patrick Kluivert was one of them that was in there for the 2000 FIFA World Player of the Year. He finished 9th in that. But I was just like, okay, he hadn't been picked.
So Del Piero finally went to Pumpster at some point. I'm going to
Yes, he did.
Pumpster's team because I think he might have quite a nice team. Let's have a look. He's just grabbed Mark Van Bommel. So he's got Toldo as his keeper. He's got Nestor. He needs some more defense. He's only got Nestor at the minute. But he's got Van Bommel, Harry Kewell, Alessandro Del Piero, Zinedine Zidane, and Hernan Crespo up top.
It's not a bad side.
It's useful. It is useful.
I like Van Bommel. I like Del Piero and Crespo because that's if you want to play two up front, I think that's a good two. Zidane and Van Bommel. Van Bommel, I always used to sign Van Bommel because he's just like a workhorse.
Yeah,
right?
And goals from distance as well.
Yeah, he was just amazing. I remember playing this game 01-02 in Championship Manager and even maybe some prior, like a few afters, and he was just amazing. And he's a manager as well, I believe now. I think in real life he's a manager.
Yeah, normally if I've got a face pick for them, they're a manager of some kind. Which actually all of this team is a manager now, by the looks of it. They appear in my face pack, which means they're in.
Toldo, I don't know where. I think Toldo's managed down the pyramid in Italy. Nesta was in charge of Miami FC. Van Bommel was in charge of Wolfsburg this season and got binned. Kuhl's been in charge of about 7 clubs in the lower leagues and it has been minging. I don't think Del Piero's been a gaffer. Crespo's the manager of someone in Argentina. He's had 2 or 3 clubs. So the only one who's not is Del Piero. But is he out in Australia now?
I don't know. Crespo's currently at Sao Paulo. He ended up at Fulham.
Is he at Sao Paulo now?
Yeah, he ended up at Fulham in my and I'm as a Brentford fan, we got into nice heated exchanges, me and Herman Crespo, about the rivalry. That was good fun for about 6 years on that game.
They could be coaches. They could be in my game as coaches. But those are the ones where their faces show up. So Toldo, Keg has said Toldo was never a manager.
Keg's also saying don't sleep on Taribo West as well. Which I take the point. Obviously, he is versatile. He's got left back and centre back. But I just think that if you're playing unlimited finances, then I think we can jump in anyone you want. But Hud's just had a whole bunch of left backs up, and we were spoiled for left backs in 2001. Spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, at risk of alienating the entire Champ Manager community, I am not sold on Taribo West at all. I understand why you get him because he's free at the start and stuff. He just doesn't quite do it for me. Just doesn't do it.
You've upset the chat. Francesco Poco is still available as a left back if they're looking for a left back. I mean, the pace, the strength, the marking, the tackling, 50 for crossing.
Wilfred Baumer, when he was at PSV, was a great shout because he went to Villa in real life, but he was superb on the game.
Now, I don't know if he was picked. I did see. I think it was it Trek that was looking at him. There's a left wing back called Jörg Boma, who starts at Schalke. If you're going to try and play a wing back, he is twice the player of Coco, at least. God, Moz has got a search up including Jackie McNamara.
He took his time picking his Scottish players the other day when we were drafting. He's now trying to get them early doors now, is he? Interesting.
A few teams are light on centre backs. I think we were talking about one could be Ivan Cordoba. He was a very good centre back that I don't think's been picked yet.
I thought someone would have picked up Shivu by now as well.
Yeah, I think he should have gone earlier.
But the thing is, the players that are being looked at right now by the players, the stats are still incredibly good.
So Mal now has a strike force of Chiesa and Ebby Sand, which
team up. Let's look at
beautifully nostalgic.
Yeah, Chiesa, Ebe
Ayala,
Sant,
Desai,
Damiano
Concha.
Tomasi, Roberto Ayala, Desai. I mean, Cosmin Contra, the Romanian.
He picked
He's
him in the
incredible.
second round,
If you look
and
at
I
him,
was
though, he's
thinking that was a
incredible.
bit early.
Oh, he's a head and shoulders above Javier Zanetti.
He's the best right back, I feel, in this database. I don't think he's that expensive either. If you ever play in this mode with a budget, I think he's quite cheap. And similarly, John Terry I've seen has just gone. John Terry in this database is only about 500k. And if you look at him,
Because he's young.
Yeah, but he's still really good in the
Always
database.
he's better than he was. Because I mean, I've played various Chelsea saves down the years, and very often I sell him because he just doesn't. Well, he's not good enough, and I sign better players. Often Taribo West, but I've already slagged him off, so I can't back him up now.
So we have, I mean, so I've got a selection of players not picked yet. So Amoroso is the Dortmund striker, very good. No one's picked him up yet.
Trek.
Gone. Who's Trek just picked?
SiMaggio and Marcelo Salas.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the 101st pick of the draft, Javier Zanetti has finally gone.
There we go. That's Pumpsters.
Finally, I feel as though someone's listening to this now.
Yeah.
He's waited so long on defenders, and he's come away with Zanetti. He's not too bad, is it?
Yeah.
Quaresma's not gone yet either.
He's young on this,
though. I suppose, yeah.
Pumpster was looking at Deco.
Fiore, Donny, Seedorf, they've all got a bit of versatility.
Yeah, Seedorf is still available.
Still available.
Dwight York is still available. Ronaldinho still has not gone. Hierro has not gone. Roy Mackay, who you highlighted earlier, has not gone. Romario, although Romario is probably quite old at this stage, right? 36.
Raquelme still hasn't gone.
Raquelme
Redondo still hasn't gone.
But yeah, I was just looking at stats on Deco, who's at Porto. He's only valued at 30 million, but he had 20s, 18s, 19s in all the technical areas. I was astounded with Deco.
Keely Gonzalez is there. There's a blast from the past. I think Penguin has just picked up the boy that I was talking about from Germany, Boma, the left wing back. Yeah.
I mean, if he's using a winger or a wing back, he doesn't seem like, according to this, he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play at left back position, but he'll play at left wing back. So if he's using wing backs, I mean, you could just put him in the position and he'll probably be fine.
Yeah,
but that 20 corners, and we know how overpowered corners are this year. 20 long shots, we know how overpowered long shots are this year. 19 free kick. Is this the James Ward-Prowse of 0102?
I wish I knew more, but signing players from Germany was always a massive pain. And I'm also convinced that the developers of this game deliberately made all the German players slightly worse than they actually were in real life, because they're really, particularly German nationality players, there are very few superstars compared to Italy, Spain, and I know that was the year they got beat 5-1 by England, but they all seem to be a little bit worse than every other nation.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, we can have a look, see which Germans have already gone. See if any got picked up. Just got to put a nationality filter on.
I'd be surprised if there's many that have gone. Effenberg's gone.
Boma, Khan, Nowotny.
Nowotny as well.
Lucio has gone. Centre half, Lucio.
Oh yeah,
that's a great pick.
What a player!
Love that.
To Baggio, that's Trek, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lucio was superb on the game.
Draconis has picked Barry Ferguson as well.
Yeah.
Just about to say, he's been hovering over him for a long time. Going, I need to get Barry Ferguson. I've changed Draconis, man. I can't predict him.
How old is he?
He was like 58 million as well.
Yeah, no, he had good stats. He had good stats.
No way is he.
He was
in his 50s now. No way does he look like he's in his 50s there.
Yeah. He's what, early 40s? Because he's the manager at Celtic. No, he's not the manager at Celtic. He's the manager at Alloa now.
He looks like he's in his 20s still.
Very angry man, apparently.
He's only got 14 aggression here, so he can't be that angry. Certainly no Roy Keane.
Yeah, just to answer the question from Keg and Greeno in the chat, Barasholu and Selakovic haven't been picked yet. Has Kallstrom been picked?
Pick them. They're both shite.
I don't think Kallstrom's been picked, has he?
Let's have a look.
I would give it. I'd maybe give Selakovic a run. To be fair, I
Mm.
like him. Barachoglu and Kallstrom can both go and eat a giant bag of shit.
Selakovic, let's have a look. He doesn't appear to be here. Unless it's spelt wrong. How do you spell it? He's not there.
No, he's not there.
Let's have a
Is
look.
Tommy
Mikel
Gronlund in
Forsell
this?
on that list. What a legend. Well, he wasn't a legend,
course.
but for me, as a young 6-year-old who's becoming a Chelsea fan, I remember seeing Mikel Forsell that came up there. That was like good
Yeah.
memories.
Yes.
Yeah. Little
That's
did
one
he
of my
know a few years
earliest-
later he'd be playing for Birmingham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed. Thinking, oh, this kid looks good.
Right, none
Then
of
he
these
that was
plays
one of
players
my
are there.
earliest match of the day memories. Is Forsell playing for Chelsea and getting a brace against someone. I'm watching it at like 7 a.m. on the early show.
Yeah.
Jocelyn Angolma.
That's
How
not
old's
bad
he
for a
on?
right back pick. That looks solid. I mean, maybe his decision making is a little bit low, technique a little bit low, but for
Is he not about
defensive-
36, 37 when this starts?
Let's have a look. We can find out. 36. Yep. 36.
And he's got physicals like that.
I know, right?
Jesus.
He's like Fernandinho in the in the current game. Yeah, Fernandinho is 37, 38 and still has mad physicals.
The dial-up generation's Fernandinho.
I mean, if you're talking about 36-year-olds, Omega Luke's drafted 36-year-old Martin Keown.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's not that bonkers a pick.
No?
He
If
has
you're
better
going for
physicals than John
Yeah.
than Sol Campbell and
Yeah.
Tony Adams.
I think
If you're
you
going
play-
just as a pure one-off, this is where like actually picking some of these older players, you're going to get the value.
Yeah, if you play a high line, you're stuffed though, aren't you? Because like as we say, that fantastic abilities down to pace of 3, you're gonna get caught
Yes.
straight away. So if you play a drop line, you might be all right.
A lot of people now, Sweet Left Foot, he has picked a couple of people outside the Premier League, but he's looked at a lot of Premier League players. And someone has come up in his chat. He's currently looking at Heskey, but Mark Viduka, I'd be really interested to see what Mark Viduka looked like because I remember him obviously at Leeds, and obviously at Middlesbrough.
Great.
He was just a beast of a player.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what he looks like.
I'm amazed
Yeah.
with
Is
Barry
Hamilton-
Ferguson and some of these players going that no one has taken Clarence Seedorf still. Or
Is
Ronaldinho.
Hamilton
Yeah.
Ricard on this? Because if anyone had any sense from playing this game, you'd pick Hamilton Ricard because he always scores against you. Although he's been eliminated from it's a very sensible thing to do to eliminate him from this database because it's just not fair.
He's not there.
He always scored against you. It was impossible to play Middlesbrough and not have Hamilton Ricard score, and he wouldn't score against anyone else. It'd only be when you would play them.
Yeah, I think that Leeds team had some absolute stars in them. I mean, you say there about Viduka, obviously had Robbie Keane, it had Woodgate, we've mentioned Olivier Dacour, we've said Ian Hart, who I think has been picked by Hood. Yeah, Alan Mabry in the reserves, who was hit and miss. He was either going to be an absolute superstar or just like a sort of a bit of a plodder. Gary Kelly was good. Goalkeepers was Robinson and Nigel Martin, I believe, was it? Possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had a lot of talent in that Leeds squad.
Should we have a look at Ronaldinho? Maybe I know
Yeah.
it's early days because Ronaldinho hasn't gone, and obviously I remember Ronaldinho at Barcelona, but Paris Saint-Germain, Ronaldinho. Do you think there's a reason, boys, why he hasn't been picked yet?
Oh, because Danny Mills is way better than him.
Yeah, I think people have forgot. I genuinely think people have forgotten, maybe not put him at the time period. And they've looked at Barcelona and he's not there. And I wonder whether people have not thought, who did he play for before Barcelona?
Well,
And have put two together.
One question I would have on it is how many people actually... Oh, Ronaldinho's just been picked by Omega Luke.
Oh, there you go.
It took so
Right.
long.
How many people would play an AMC in their formation, though? Because that's, I guess, would you... Just thinking about translating the stats, I don't know how good he would be as an AML. And if you don't play, if you're someone who plays a 4-5-1 with the 2 inside forwards and a striker, Ronaldinho's ridiculously good, but I don't know how well he'd translate into this game. I don't know what his stats look like. But
What position would you play him if you were to play him as that cam role? What position would you? What little thing would you click on as in like his little role?
I haven't played FM since FM 16, So
Okay.
maybe Enganche.
That's what I was thinking. I was actually going to say that. I was thinking as an Enganche because he's one of those players who could just sit there, right, and just pick a pass, pick a pass, pick a pass, pick a
Yes.
pass. And if you got those inverted wing backs, he can just slot them through, slot the striker through,
Yes.
and just play about. That's what I was thinking as well.
I
I'm
used to
glad you
play a
said that.
4-4-1-1 with an Enganche, and I would have. I think I used to sign this kid called Crystal Gonzalez, and stick him there, and he was quite good. But I mean, he's no Ronaldinho. I mean, clearly
No.
because no one's ever fucking heard of him. But
He's no Danny Mills either, so you know. Just,
Buffon has just gone as a goalkeeper.
So we're into round 10. So
how's
I guess they're
Buffon
starting to
only
look at him.
just gone?
I think they're
well,
probably
no one's
only
really gone
just
for
looking at
goalkeepers yet, have they? So
The
Yeah,
goalkeepers
Moza
normally
picked
come this
Barthez.
lower
Sorry,
down.
Mal picked Barthez.
Yeah.
Moza getting Buffon. Okay.
So let's
Pumpster's
see.
got Seda.
Toldo's gone. Let's have a look at the goalkeepers for a second and see.
And again, we've got a generation of really great goalkeepers added to Sebastian Frey, who
And this-
wasn't great in real life, but was so good on this game.
The nice thing about Sebastian Frey as well is if you actually tweet him and tag him, he generally replies if it's about Championship Manager.
What a beautiful man! What a beautiful man!
I know.
Yeah.
So these are the
Don't
goalkeepers.
expect nothing
that
less
have
from
gone.
him.
Oliver Kahn went to Troconis. Buffon has just gone to Moza.
Yeah.
Canizares went to JDFM.
Yeah.
Barthez went to, was it Tamau? It was Tamau.
Yeah.
Toldo went to Pumpster. Abiati has gone to Penguin, and Nigma Tulin went to who's gone to Hood. Steve Hood's gone for Nigma.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have been looking at Edwin van der Sar, who is at Fulham. And Edwin van der Sar does have some good stats in the technical side of things, but I can't really think of any other goalkeepers. Dido, it might be past my time. He was at AC Milan, I think, around 2005 when they played Liverpool. I don't know what he was doing.
He was. I want to say he maybe starts this game in Brazil, though.
I don't know if he's good at this point, though.
Yeah, if Abiati's gone, I think he possibly does. But the thing is, well, it's like you look at, there was a lot of really great goalkeepers that were playing in England at the time who would be really good picks. Like most of the teams, I would say, in England had a good goalkeeper to go from. So I think, again, as we said before about you're blessed with strikers, you're almost blessed with goalkeepers at this point. It's not like again a normal draft mode where we're sitting going, oh, right, there's three great goalkeepers, the rest are decent, then you're looking for a couple of bargains. Again, I think there's so many players around, like we mentioned, Vita Bahia as well at Porto would be a player to look at. There's like guys over in Croatia who are really good. And I think again, you're looking for there's talent everywhere in this, and again, because you're playing with no budget, doesn't matter. You can literally pick whoever you want.
This is where the original game again. You put like there kind of were only 2 or 3 good keepers because there were so many keepers that you would sign and would chuck the ball in once every second game. It's the one position that is a complete, absolute lottery in the original game. I've never found, other than maybe Buffon.
Nigel Martin, I've just pulled up, and you don't remember Nigel Martin as being particularly excellent, but he was always like England's number 2 to David Seaman. But he looks really solid. That's
what I was going to talk about goalkeepers. You got Tim Flowers at Leicester in terms of, Tony was talking about English goalkeepers. You got Tim Flowers. I was a big Shay Given fan. I don't know how good Shay Given is, but with the stats being quite padded, Shay Given was one of the, even though he's not the tallest, was one of a really good goalkeeper in the Premier League. Yeah. Kudachini was great as well. And then you've also got Jessica Lyman. Because these stats are padded, I know if it wasn't unlimited, I don't think I'd be picking these goalkeepers if it was an unlimited draft. However, if there was money involved, I'd be looking at those types of goalkeepers because you think they might be quite cheap, and with the stats being fairly padded, you'd think you'd be getting a better goalkeeper probably than he was in real life.
Headman was always a good keeper on this as well.
Absolutely.
Headman was good. Yench was decent. David James.
So David James is 700k if you're looking for a player on a budget.
Yeah, and look at that, 20 reflexes.
13's a risk though.
Yeah.
But 20 reflexes, right? Decent at one-on-ones, good communication, handling is less to be desired. But for me as a goalkeeper, reflexes 1-on-ones and your handling. That's big, and then it's aerial reach and command of area. The rest of it is a bit meh. You don't really need to worry about.
But as you say, this is where it gets interesting. You stick a budget on it,
yeah.
All of a sudden, you're going right. Okay, now I'm looking at my bargains. Now I'm finding these guys that are in the sort of the lower annals of the database, and again, there's still quality to be found there. One thing I was going to mention, again, it's off topic from goalkeeper, so apologies for that. A player that I saw, and again, just a little bit of rose-tinted nostalgia, Mehmet Scholl. Mehmet Scholl. We talk about German players who weren't given a bit of a boost, but I mean, he was a great player in real life, but he was not the player he was in Jumpman or 102. He was quite a superstar in this, I think.
Has he just been picked?
No, Hood was just having a little look at him, and I was just like, "Ooh, okay, that's interesting."
Keith Van Wanderen's gone.
What's the spelling of it, Tony? I can get up.
Scholl, SCHOLL, I believe.
It's no like German characters or anything.
He's at Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Someone has picked
another player that's just sprung to mind is Didier Hamann, who would have been midfield from Liverpool.
That's
Like he was very good. A very good player. I'd be interested to see what his stats are like. The thing is, though, it's amazing. The more you think about this like database, the more players just pop into your head. And when we were talking about at the beginning that we were blessed at that era, let's say, to have so many good players, and there's going to be some great players that will not be picked. But again, if it was a budget where you've got 500 million, I don't know how much Didier Hamann's price is, but like I feel like you'd get a solid midfielder there. And if he was about 14, 15 million, I think you'd be laughing.
Sorry.
I was going to say the last 3 or 4 picks for each squad are going to be great, because I think that might be where nostalgia maybe takes kind of over what do you actually need. Like, do you look at it and go, well, Ivan Zamorano's there, and you're looking at it and going, well, I've already picked Roberto Baggio, Marcelo Salas, and Beppe Signori, but I'm going to pick Zamorano just because it's fun. And this is the thing, again, with the original game, like, and the one thing that gets me with FM at points is like, and I get it, the way that you manage the finances in it is totally different from CMO 102. Because CMO 102, you can go out and buy a world-class striker for £1.5 million. And that for me is the glorious era of football where transfer fees made sense, as opposed to 30 million over 7 years with a clause if the guy finds Narnia, and if he wins the Anglo-Spanish Cup in 2033, you get another like 20 Bitcoin. Like I can't translate that. I can pay 1.5 million for Serginho off the transfer list, and you've signed him, and that's it. And the finances basically try and keep them in the green. If you don't, there'll be some TV money turns up, and it'll all be fine.
Yeah. No, agreed. What will be really interesting is at the end of this draft, looking at what you could still draft after it. And you'd still have a great draft. You'd still have a great draft because there's so many players that still left there. You could literally draft the remains.
I agree. I think us four could draft a team and still be, after everyone's drafted, and still have a competitive team going into the competition.
100%.
So Serginho, actually, we were on about Silvinho earlier. It was Serginho I was thinking of. Serginho only had 10 caps for Brazil because of Roberto Carlos. And I think
Silvinho only got about. Did Silvinho only get one?
Silvinho might have had even less. Yeah. So this is the problem. Roberto Carlos was so good. Serginho only played for the Brazil team for about 2 years, and it was between tournaments. I think he might have gone to the 2000 World Cup. 2000. No,
2002 was he in the squad?
Oh, I think he was out of the team by then. So I think he came into the team in '99 and he was out of the team by 2001. So, but look how he's rapid, good crossing, good dribbling. Like he's the one I was using who was causing problems early on in the database. Good
Edwin
players.
van der Sar has gone to Baggio.
Yep, and I saw Nigel Martin went to Sweet Left Foot after we were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nicholas Anelka's gone to Stinger, so that Stinger's got Nicholas Anelka, Ronaldo, and did he have another forward up top as well?
Took Emil Heskey.
He was looking. There was a lot of people looking. There was a lot of people looking at Heskey. He wasn't the only one looking at Heskey. As I said, Sweet Left Foot's team will be interesting because I think it's just a Premier League side with some added extras.
Was this chat induced?
Like his whole team.
Did his chat make him do this?
I don't think so. Like his chat has got tons of player suggestions in there anyway. Like they're throwing some good ones his way, to be honest with you. And Heskey, when you look at Heskey, he's got 20 strength and he's got decent physicals and he's got decent finishing. I don't think he'll be that bad. Like he's probably the 2001 Romelu Lukaku. By the way,
but again, when you've got Shearer hasn't been picked yet.
I'm
even
sorry.
At 31,
Trezeguet
even
hasn't
at
been
31.
Trezeguet
Did
is
you
here.
just say Emil Heskey is the CMO 102 equivalent of Romelu Lukaku?
well, if you look at his stats, if you look at his stats,
Sorry,
you'd
have I
think
entered the Twilight Zone?
if you look at his stats, you wouldn't be surprised if you put up Romelu Lukaku's stats and then
Yeah.
compare it to Heskey's stats.
Physical,
You'd
the
think
physical side.
not too bad.
I'm going to say one thing.
I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
In my stand-up show, I make a very cutting reference to Emil Heskey and his abilities, and I'm just going to leave it there. It's not that he is the old Lukaku.
Trezeguet is still there. Like you take Trezeguet, no?
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted that, like he hasn't got the only thing he hasn't got that Emil Heskey's got is the strength, but he's better in about 20 other
Trezeguet
ways.
wasn't that good on this game, if I remember correctly, because it's the end of this season where he scores the winner in the final of the Euros.
Mm.
So he's a bit more potential. I mean, if you're looking for, I think someone like Zamorano could make a really good striker at this point for someone. Because if I remember, his technicals were amazing. Physicals maybe not that great, but if you playing him off someone, could we see a Heskey and Zamorano strike partnership?
What about Dwight York?
But then, I was thinking
Cole.
about Dwight York, but then someone who we've got here just went over Torre Andre Flo. Now, I remember Torre Andre Flo. He has in this game, unbelievably, 20 strength. Now, if I remember Torre Andre Flo, he was a tall, skinny man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how Torre Andre Flo, who was a great player for Chelsea, he's at Rangers at this point, how he has 20 strength, I don't know. So that's where you can see a little bit of the pad statting, I think. But
unless his strength was comparative to the league.
Yeah,
like he looked really strong in the SPL, but in the Premier League he looked a little bit lightweight. Is that it? Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
no, because the SPL's always been a harder league.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. If Jim Goodwin had played in the Premier League, then the league would cease to exist because he would have wiped everyone out.
Would Alberts have been playing about that time?
Who?
Yeah.
Alberts.
Yes,
Rangers.
he was in the Rangers squad at that point. It was when Kenichia was at Dundee.
Oh, Dundee, yeah, of course,
and Javier Artero, Juan Saran Caballero up front, Kizhnishvili at the back, Speroni in goal. That era where Dundee basically spent the entire GDP of Dundee on Argentina.
the banter era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Stinger has just picked Andre Pirlo. Let's have a look at Pirlo quickly.
Solskjaer's just gone to Draconius.
A 23-year-old Pirlo has awful physicals. I feel like,
yes.
this should be it's the wrong way around almost. He's got really good vision.
He's
still a player though. Look at him.
He wasn't great on the original.
Pirlo was one of those guys though who sort of like no one really realized how good he was till he was about 30, and then all of a sudden everyone went, Pirlo's minting it, and like you didn't really hear much about Pirlo that point.
Those stats, though, I know you'd have him sitting in a holding midfield role, potentially just banging passes left, right, and centre as a deep line playmaker.
Lovely niche pick in picking Milan Petkov.
We can have a look at Milan Petkov. Yep.
He is a gem on the original game. Absolute gem. I don't know. I don't know the kind of bread to this database, but there's players like you're looking at him. I think he starts in Greece at AEK. And then you've got there's guys in Poland in particular. That's like a very, very fertile transfer market for me when I'm playing the original game. There's guys like Arkadiusz Bach and Pavel Brožek who are very good, but I don't know if they're in this database. So
JDFM's looking at Fernando Couto, the Portuguese defender who was at Lazio as well. And again, I think that's a bit of a nostalgia pick. Philip Mexes. It's down at 900 grand, but that's a young Philip Mexes as well. So again, if we're talking budget picks, that's great.
Yes,
Woodgate's 4 million, Lampard's 4.5. Sorry,
there's cheap. Lampard's cheap.
Carragher's got 7.5 million.
The
Gallas is 2.7.
The Chelsea team is so Celestine Babayaro. If I get Celestine Babayaro up, I think he's like 500k.
Yeah, and I remember Babiaro. He was a good player, but on FM he's like a world class left back. And
Yeah.
Babiaro was not a world class left back.
I mean,
but,
if anyone's still looking for a left back, they might not be looking that far down the budget list if they're sorting it by budget order. But Babiaro there would be pretty solid. If you are playing this for the budget, at the less than £1 million he's going to cost you.
And he fits the wing back role perfectly with the 16 crossing for me and the pace. Like he can get back, he could do a half decent job. Like if he had a suspension to your main left back, Babiaro in this game,
absolutely,
is not a bad shout.
What about Sorin? Has he been picked yet?
He did. He went earlier on.
Yeah,
second or third.
Also,
great pick for left back as well.
Just having checked in with Mal, I'd seen him get Rossini and Chiesa up front. He's actually picked up Ismail Urzaze, who starts at Athletic Bilbao.
Let's have a look at
Physical. He's the thinking man's Emil Heskey, if we want to go down that route. But he's very good.
He doesn't have the pace, but 20 heading, 16 jumping, 6'2". Some good balance. Another 20 strength player. He's a bit like he's probably a bit like your Giroud in the current database, I'd imagine. He hasn't got the pace, but if you want a target man, stick up top. And Giroud is lethal in this year's FM. I've just finished the season in Serie A. He was the second highest scorer for AC Milan, with only Osimhen at Napoli beating him out. So, in this engine, these target men are still pretty strong.
Moz has just picked up Mehmet Scholl.
That was a late pick. That was one we looked at earlier on, wasn't it? One of the Germans.
Yeah. Which I think Stinger was trying to get him. I think he just selected him, but he's now reviewing what he's going to do.
I like Mehmet Scholl on the game. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at Stinger. Stinger took Mehmet Scholl. So let's have a look at Stinger's team. So he's got Molina as his goalkeeper. Which isn't too bad. And then if we go down defense, he's got Radibi. He went for Sol Campbell. He's gone for Serene, and he went for Luciano Zauri as well. And then in midfield, he's got Scholl, Pirlo, Perez, Baraya, Albertini, and he's got Rivaldo, Anelka, Ronaldo, and Jardel up top.
That's not too shabby, is it? Really?
If that clicks, that's going to be very difficult to beat.
It's got a bit of everything, hasn't it?
It hasn't, and like he's got Zauri, who's very, very kind of very versatile. But you look at a lot of those other players, and actually, there's a few players that play in one position. So actually, interesting to see what he does with his next picks, because there is definitely something there. There's the makings of something there.
Where would you play
Rivaldo
in that team? Rivaldo is probably one of the strongest players in this database, looking at those attributes. Lots of 20s and 17s and 18s in there. Would you play him out left, or would you have him through the centre? So he also took Anelka, Scholl, Pirlo, Perez. He's probably looking to put Rivaldo out right, I would guess.
I like him through the centre personally.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think you'll find either way. He's got good crossing. It depends on his pace. Was his pace 17?
Yeah. His pace was 17. So Perez and Baraja are not pacey. They're only...
And this is where my slight concern for him is at the moment. Unless he's going to play Zauri out wide, which is very, very possible, is if he's playing wingers or something like that at the moment, he basically has Rivaldo with pace. The other guys, I would Perez more of a winger. Baraka for me was always a central midfielder.
Do you think he's possibly playing like a really narrow formation and just going through the middle with that sort of short passing and then passing into space around, then through balls for Anelka and Ronaldo to run on to, possibly? Maybe Ronaldo taking long shots, Pirlo taking long shots, possibly. Maybe just sacrificing the fact that he hasn't got much width at this point.
Or if you bring in the long shots factor, then actually it's a cracking team, because I'm sure Soren can ping him as well.
We can look at
Sol Campbell for set plays also. It's not... Depends upon what he's looking for, really. The only thing I think I would be looking at is he maybe hasn't got someone who's going to put their foot in. If he has to try and rough a result out, there's not really a lot of combativeness in there.
He's got Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell's probably your battler in there, isn't he? I don't know if he's got in the midfield. He hasn't really got one though.
No, it's technical, but it's not
probably the closest.
Maybe we should have a look at Claude Makelele, because obviously everyone remembers Claude Makelele as a beast of a player, but he's yet to be picked.
Makelele on this was average, very average. Because it would have been what 2-3 seasons before he went to Chelsea. Went to Chelsea in 2004. I mean, I remember him having decent enough physicals.
He has been picked.
He has been picked. Okay, sorry. He's just been picked right now.
Just now. That's why I couldn't find him.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's have a look at him.
He's not fantastic. I mean, he'll absolutely do a job, but
as a ball-winning midfielder, he could do something still, though. You got the 16. Passing's not great, but then you've got the vision. But he'll see a pass. Fingers crossed he'll get there. He's got good composure and concentration, so he shouldn't make too many mistakes. Positioning's good as well. Like, it's not atrocious.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe not the... I don't know. I don't know what the 2004 stat would be, though, because those are pretty big. What, tackling like 20 or something?
Yes.
Pep Guardiola must have gone recently, because he's no longer showing up on the unpicked. So someone took Pep Guardiola. So I'm sort of looking now at who's unpicked. The most expensive one is Kazuyoshi Miura. I think that's probably a misprice looking at his actual.
Yeah, that's
if you speak. Sorry, if you're speaking of misprices, and Si, we were in a bit of a chat with Dave Black, who unfortunately can't make it in this evening. Pierre Van Hooijdonk has just been picked, and that was one of Dave Black's.
Johan Vogel has only been picked now. How has Johan Vogel taken this long to be picked?
The little sneaky ones, isn't it? But Van Hooijdonk is 40 million.
40 million. I mean, he's not too bad in the game. Like, maybe his physicals are a little bit low in some of the areas. Although 10 acceleration and 17 pace. How do you end up with 10 acceleration and 17 pace? It's a wild mismatch. Like, when you get to top speed, you're there, but like to get there, you're really slow.
But again, think about this though. If you've got an unlimited budget, and I might be wrong here, but has Martin Palermo been picked yet?
Oh, Martin.
Because if he hasn't, why are you picking Pierre Van Hooijdonk?
See if Palermo shows up. If it doesn't do the bug where it just he has not been taken. 30 million. I mean, the price doesn't matter. 17 finishing, some good physicals.
He's just 20 heading, 19 jumping reach.
He just scores goals.
Now that's interesting, because on the database that I play on, I thought he was still at No, he's not at Boca. He is at Villarreal.
So I took him in the practice, Martin Palermo. So him and Serginho. I don't remember. I think I had Zidane behind them, and this is the tournament that I won with 32 people. So, you know, he was the top scorer in the tournament, Martin Palermo. No one has taken him.
Could you have a wee look at Vogel for Mal? Because I am astonished if he's anywhere near as good as he was in the original game, how he has slipped through the net. Why are you picking so I would love to see a comparison between him and Cristiano Zanetti, who was picked in the second round of the thing. But how's he slipped so far? I watched a wee bit of Mal's stream today before coming on, and he was saying he's taking a month off streaming, and I'm convinced he's been playing CMO 102, because some of these picks he's never picking unless he's been doing some serious revision.
He has been preparing until I turned him onto Minecraft last night, and he was up till 5 a.m. breeding chickens. So I might have put a dent in his preparation plans. I am going to do that comparison that you asked for. If you give me a second, it was a Christian Zanetti, right?
Yeah, Mal is having a quick look at Patrick Kluivert as well, actually.
Who's got to be then one from the Ballon d'Or era that's still yet to go, because I think all the others have gone.
So this
in
is
that top 10 of that year.
Zanetti wins out in some areas that are largely irrelevant. The dribbling is really low on Vogel, which could be an issue in midfield.
I suppose if you're wanting someone to contribute to the game, then you pick Zanetti. If you want someone to kick fuck out of people, you pick Vogel.
Well, Zanetti has high aggression, but yeah.
Vogel's less likely to get. I cannot understand. I cannot comprehend this. I can't. I'm astonished.
I don't know if that'd be Mal's first team. I mean, we're on pick. What pick are we on now? We're on pick 16. So Mal did take earlier.
Taribo West has gone.
Taribo West has gone. Who's taken Taribo West?
JD's taken Taribo West.
Okay, we will have
And he's also taken Dwight York. And apparently, Keg says in chat that Deco has gone as well.
Deco's gone for Hood. Yes.
Mal took Angelo Delivio as well. That is a pure champ pick, that.
So JD has taken Taribo West. We did look at Taribo West earlier. Dwight York, I'm surprised he took that long. He's fairly solid as a striker.
Yes.
Although there is a plethora of strikers available, so I don't know if it's necessarily reflected. Is Trezeguet gone yet? Has anyone told me if Trezeguet's gone yet? Has anyone seen Trezeguet?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen.
Oh, what are these people? And Martin, I'm going to take Trezeguet. Our team at the end, we're going to have Trezeguet and Martin Palermo up top. That's going to be our combination.
This is an absolutely bonkers squad.
It's all the defenders, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? So West, Van Wanderen, Candela, and Samuel. So he's got 3 guys that can play left back, and then what? I love it, but I don't know why. I think it's Jalminya. Jalminya's just absolute gravy. Him.
He's good. He's
Angry
good.
bastard. Though.
He lacks some of a couple of. He's one of those really eccentric attribute sets. You know, some really low ones. And
There's
really high ones in there.
On the original game, there was hidden stats that didn't show on the screens, but with a couple of patches, they've been able to unlock them and show you this 4th column of the hidden stats. And Jalminya is one of these guys that has temperament 1, loyalty 1. So if you substitute him at all, he'll throw a big hissy fit. And so it's the same with an Elka. Like you can't see it, but there are these hidden stats that you can unlock now, where you see why they're so temperamental.
I wonder whether that's gonna if those have been translated over. If Mad Scientist is here, he might be able to tell us, because if those are still there, because they do play this, they don't play this in draft mode. They play this in the full game. So if that carries over, those things could make a difference.
Trezeguet has gone to Blobby Town.
There goes Trezeguet now.
Mal.
Mal's listening in, is he?
David Seaman at Draconia, that's a good pick.
Yeah, Seaman's
I'm amazed he's dropped as low.
38-year-old.
And he's got Oliver
David
Kahn
Seaman.
as his first keeper, so it's not like. But we have seen keeper injuries in this mode, so it's possible.
Famously in the Super League, Miju only had 1 goalkeeper, went out, had to play Ilicic in goal.
Has Pablo Aimar been picked yet? I've not noticed his name go through.
We can have a look. They are approaching their final picks.
Zambrotta was picked quite far down as well, actually.
Zambrotta's a great shout, actually, as well.
Yeah.
Aimar has gone. He went to.
Has he?
Yep. We can have a quick look.
I think I'm wondering.
We might want to have a look at Hood's squad, actually. This is
definitely.
I think he's in with a shout if he's been doing.
Wow.
Here we go.
Solid work.
So Nick Militulin is the keeper. We've got Cafu in there, Ian Hart, Cannavaro, Thuram.
You're going to struggle to get a better defense midfielder than Yerebi's as well.
I just saw him. I saw him have a look at him. I'm like, okay, right, we need to look at this.
There's a lot to like in this squad.
And tactically, he's very good as well. We found that out last season in the playoffs. He's very, very good tactically. So,
only thing he needs, in my view, it's not far off. Well, it's pretty obvious. He hasn't got a right winger. He hasn't got anyone who can play on the right, unless he's going to play Thuram and Cafu kind of behind and in front of each other. But he doesn't appear to have anyone attacking for the right-hand side.
So he otherwise using Cafu as a complete wing back. Maybe he's playing through the centre. Because look how attacking Cafu can get. Like that with
the
that
wing back on attack.
And the
wing back on attack for Cafu to go all the way down to the byline. You could totally cut that out and then play essentially overload on the left and have Cafu just bombing up for the switch over. That's how I think it might work.
Mad Scientist saying went with the original attributes, so that'll all be built.
Yeah, so
someone else
better not be subbing him off. Don't upset.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. I can't remember Riquelme being picked.
Riquelme has not been picked. Riquelme has not been picked. Is it Riquelme or Riquelme? How do we go with the pronunciation of this one?
Riquelme. Gotta be Riquelme.
I mean, he's no Christian Zanetti, is he? So that's why he's the Danny Mills of Boca Juniors.
Danny Mills.
I can't believe Danny Mills went in the 3rd round.
I mean, Riquelme is good enough to be Riquelme is good enough to be going at this point, right?
I thought did Danny Mills not go in the 2nd round? I thought he was with the 16th pick.
Danny Mills went really early. We got Fernando Hierro still available, although he's a little bit old at this point.
From Mario, another one who was an absolute nutcase on the game.
Yeah, I think he's quite old as well,
Liverani's a good defensive midfielder, by the way. I don't know if stats have translated, but
yeah, they have. That's a very good. That's a strange one that's still available.
Physicals aren't fantastic though.
He's sort of lacking in marking and tackling, which for a defensive midfielder is kind of a requisite.
Bio's still there.
Redondo,
Clivert, Soto, Andy Cole. I'd seen someone on Twitter saying that they were expecting Andy Cole to be picked.
Zola is still available, and Andy Cole.
Yeah, I think Zola is one of those. Clivert. He's good, but the physical side of it, because he's at the end of his career, lets him down.
Yeah.
But there's
Has Patrick Kluivert still not been picked then?
No, Patrick Kluivert.
Remember Nihat Kaveci played for Villarreal. He's there.
Yep. He's fairly average there.
Yes, he's he's shite, but yeah.
But there's
But
I mean, if this is the regular database, he'd be all right. But with the quality of some of these, Alex is still there if you're looking for a left winger. Louis Zaha still available.
He develops like an absolute monster on the original game.
Yeah,
same with Nikolai, who's further down. Nikolai, who starts at Sporting, becomes an absolute machine.
Hakan Suka. I remember Hakan Suka being better than they've given him here. But they obviously didn't fancy him then. But there's Frank Leboeuf. Probably another one of those. Actually, he's at Marseille here. He's not at... is it Chelsea? Chelsea plays.
No, he would have moved to Marseille by this point.
He's 34. Look at only 9... maybe this is why he's not gone. He's got 9 tackling for a defender. Which... He's got 19 long shots.
Well, that's if you were to play 3 at the back, could you not see him playing in a back 3 with passing 20 as well? Just pinging 60-yarders in his slippers.
Is this some... I don't know if this is... I mean, surely
Frank
this is a mistake on Mad Scientist's part, but he's got an 18 finishing, 20 passing, 19 long shots, but only 9... and he plays as a defender. You'd put him up top, right? Or you'd put him like...
I remember Frank Leboeuf had that season where he scored 35 goals. Do you not remember that as well?
Yeah.
As soon as I'm done, I'm playing a save where I'm sticking Leboeuf up front to see how many he scores.
18 composure.
16 composure, yeah. 18 anticipation, 17 positioning. No, his positioning's good. His off the ball isn't good. He's a very odd player. I don't know what.
Is Frank?
He was a good player as well. I remember another player that ended up at Chelsea probably the following season because I can't. He says he's listed at Marseille there, but so it could have been long until he moved to Chelsea.
That would have been post Chelsea.
Post Chelsea. Or was he 1997 then Chelsea?
He was there when they won. Yeah, he came in because when they won the double, I think he was there, and then he was there. I think his last action might have been when they won the FA Cup
in 2000 or 1998.
2000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2000.
I'm just looking at his Wikipedia. Yeah, he won the FA Cup in 96, 97, and 2000 with Chelsea. He left at the end of 2001 to go to Marseille. And then spent 2 years there, scored 6 in 17 games for Al Sadd, and 2 in 10 games for Al Wakra, and then finished his career at Hollywood United.
What a team name.
That's nonsense. Kieran Dyer was brilliant on the original game.
He's very quick there. Yeah. He's got some really good physicals. The technicals and mentals aren't amazing, but the right ones are there. So he's got 18 dribbling, 15 passing, 6. Like the lower mentals there are quite good. So
I would stick Dyer. Well, I suppose he can play wing back there, but I'd actually stick him in defensive midfield. Stick him in the centre. Just get him to run and kick people.
Dennis Wise is still available, ball-winning midfielder. Again, he's lacking the marking and tackling for a ball-winning midfielder. But...
Yeah, and also fuck Dennis Wise. No having it.
So here's a surprising one. Jorkaev, he's not gone. Did he just go? Well, I've lost where he is. Let's open him up. I'm
Mad Scientist he copied the Leboeuf attributes. Just very, very weird attributes.
Yeah, I
the thing is,
probably. I didn't know.
Thing with Leboeuf though, has he got like on the new game where Jan Sommer is a goalkeeper / right back / right winger? Is Frank Leboeuf centre half / target forward?
No, he literally only plays centre half according to that. He
yeah,
won't play anything.
No, but I would like hidden or whatever.
Maybe.
But he'd be a player that, back in the day when you send a centre back up front in the last 5 minutes, like you'd send him up front, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It took penalties as well.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't actually have, for a central defender, he has a relatively tidy goal scoring record in that he got for Chelsea, 11 in 69 for Laval, 48 in 189 games for Strasbourg. So he's scoring, one every 4 games? And Chelsea was actually, Chelsea 17 in 144. That's not dreadful. Played over 200 games, scored 24 goals, mainly from penalties and set pieces. So, yeah.
Robbie Keane's still available off the back of his... I remember watching his... What was it? The European Under-21s Championship. I think it's about 1999-2000 that they won it. Robbie Keane at the helm. I'm thinking that player's quite good. He's going to be good. Oh, he was
Didier Agat, is he any good on this?
Have you just seen him on my screen, have you?
Yeah, just below Oliveira, actually. The Uruguayan bloke you were looking at.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, he's quick. But otherwise...
Yes, that looks familiar. Physical's great.
Yeah. I mean, those physicals would look good in the regular game, but like we're saying, in this database, they're not looking.
What about Van Petter?
Van Petter was available further up. I'd seen him because he was pretty handy.
Let's have a look at some of these picks that are going through. So Jean Arisa has just gone to Triconis. That is a good pick at this stage, I feel. He's got some.
It's good cover, but
is that Liverpool John Arisa or Fulham John Arisa though?
Oh, bloody hell, he can play anywhere, can't he?
Yeah, it's good cover for the whole for everything, right? Left back.
I'm going to say, has he not got a whole bunch of? Has he not got about 3 left backs already? Or is that someone else?
We can have a look. Triconis has. He has Lasso. He has Dominic Matteo. He has Roberto Carlos. Yeah, he has some left backs.
He has some left backs. So I'm assuming Reece is probably not going to be a left back. I think he could put him in midfield.
I think so. Has he not got a right back though? Oh, he has. He's got Stephen Carr as his right.
He's got Stephen Carr.
Stephen Carr, what a legend!
Stephen Carr and Roberto Carlos with Dominic Matteo in support. That's the defence everyone wanted, isn't it?
He's got Manuel Pablo as well. I mean, I would feel a lot more confident about this team if I opened it up and the first name on the list was Danny Mills, and I don't think that we can avoid that.
Is Danny Mills isn't here in Triconis' team, is it? Am I being blind?
No, Danny Mills is in. Where's Danny Mills? He's in Reese's team.
Let's have a quick look at Reese's team then.
Imagine how his therapist's going to feel when he has to explain in a week why he's had a nervous breakdown because he picked He's picked Jackie McNamara as well.
Yep, that's his backup right back for Danny Mills is Gianni McNamara.
Well, he was very, very open about the fact he wanted Beckham as his first pick, though. So I think he's obviously built trying to go like that was going to be his first pick, and he wanted that out the bat. And I think that I hate to say it, but I think there's maybe a little bit of a and then what do I do after that? Like, I
mean,
worry.
He's got some decent players there.
Should we have a look at Danny Mills? Why did he pick him? Can we find a reason?
We looked at him earlier. He was good still. He was very good in the game.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just Danny Mills.
Because Danny Mills has compromising pictures of him.
Yeah.
Radio 5 Live, we're going to approach Javier Zanetti as a co-commentator, but Danny Mills answered the phone first.
I was going to say, this is what got him a match of the day.
He's taken a very young Iker Casillas as well.
Yes.
Ooh.
But I'm assuming Casillas will be still good. Good command of area there of 17.
Just pipe up again. Hood's having a little look at Teddy Sheringham.
Victor Bahia has gone to Moza.
The thing is now, we're around 18, so I would assume most people are going to pick.
Oh, is Sheringham gone, is he?
Yeah, he's already gone. I don't know if Hood knows, but he's gone.
This is going to be where it gets nostalgic.
This is it. Now you've got your final pick. Like, who do you really want? Because at this point, you've pretty much got who you wanted, right? Or you've got your first 11 in mind, and then there'll be that one player, as you say, that I remember him. Like someone was looking at Solano from Newcastle, and I was like, I remember Solano.
Yeah. Mal's got Nakata up. Fingers crossed, Mal goes for Nakata. This is. I can't believe Nakata's not been picked.
I didn't know if Sheringham had moved to Portsmouth at this point because he moved to Portsmouth, got them promoted, Then he said, I can't play in the Premier League anymore. So he went to West Ham, got them promoted, and then did a season with them in the Premier League. So he still played
Mal
from the 4 years after this.
Mal picked Lauren Ribera about 7th as well, which was a wonderfully...
It's a Mal pick, isn't it?
Frank
It's a
Lampard
Mal pick.
has just gone. Look at Frank Lampard.
Wow.
What do we
Lampard is
think about
honking
this stage?
on this game. Horrible. Absolutely terrible on this game.
He doesn't look too bad. He looks fairly like...
But there's so much
Random
better.
pick.
There's so
There
much
is
better.
better
You-
about.
you-
Well, we still got Riquelme, who's sitting there at 78 million.
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't have a budget and you're picking Lampard over
Yeah.
Riquelme.
Yeah,
What tactic are you playing that can't fit Riquelme in it, but absolutely could fit Frank Lampard in?
And I'm just, he's got to go, right? You can't, in an unlimited budget, leave someone of Riquelme's
No one's
stature.
taking him.
I don't think he's going.
What do
What'd you
people
say?
not like about him?
But
Right.
yeah,
just so
I'm a
that,
bit confused. I just take him for cover at this point. Just have another player that's well classed.
You're saying that this is a game where set pieces and long shots are important. He has 17 or upwards for every technical stat.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll pick Riquelme first for our team, right? Riquelme's first pick for us.
Did I see that Bauma's still available as well?
so.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't gone.
Torianjo.
Yeah, because we were talking about there was the German guy on it that was sort of quite similar, but yeah, Bauma's amazing at PSV at this point.
We've got Patrick Kluivert
Yeah.
still available. Andy Cole's still
And
available.
that's another one. Patrick Kluivert, someone who was on the top 10 Ballon d'Or list in the year 2000 going into this season, not picked.
Yeah, Reese has had a quick look at Michael Ballack.
And this is where my head's going. The likes of Ballack and Lampard, they were listed as MCs or whatever on the original game. And I think I said earlier, the MCs on CMO102 just didn't work. Like that position was about the weakest. It was about the weakest place that you could play someone. You were actually better off playing DMCs there or AMCs there with arrows forward and stuff like that. So Ballack and Lampard, as good as they were in real life, were absolutely honking on this game.
But in the new
God, I remember
game,
the
the
arrows.
CM on attack is such a strong position. So maybe there might actually be a slight method in the madness rather than having an actual AMC. You play centre midfielder on attack, then you might get some out of it.
Who got Mendieta?
JD was looking at him. I don't know if he got him or not.
Because
JD's team.
Oh, JD's actually got Wilfred Baumer up on screen and then replaced his screen with Bobby Petter. That's his next potential.
Funny, because Petter was an absolute animal on this game as well, like 20 crossing and he was.
And Kluivert, I think he's picking a Dutch player for his last pick by the looks of it. Mal's now got Yondal Thomason on his screen.
Oh God,
Patrick
what's he
Kluivert's got
doing?
JD.
He's already picked 4 strikers.
We are now into the final picks. They're just in their final picks. So let's have a look at some of these teams as they go through it. Let's start with JD. JD has made his finals pick, which is Carlos Puyol. Is Puyol
Which he needed because he needed a right back.
Puyol was a right back. How long did he play as a right back for? He moved into the centre probably pretty early.
On this game, he was a right back, and I think it was the update he became an RC. But he did start. He looked pretty tidy there. Leadership 7's maybe a little off, but
someone in JD's chat saying it's a really good pick for cover for when his right back gets suspended. So I guess the idea is that
who is his right back?
He hasn't got a right back.
Carlos Puyol's just gone.
Yeah, well, that's
that's
he
what
going?
it's suggesting. Yeah,
Would he go with an asymmetric back three?
Unless maybe he's playing. Oh no, Bosvelt. I'm assuming he's going to play Bosvelt as right back, perhaps.
Bosvelt will be DMC.
Yeah, maybe.
Or he's either got Bosvelt or he's got Candela or he's got Kies van Vonderen. I mean, none of these are set right backs, though, are they? Is he undersigned defenders here?
Well, he's then signed. What is Gert Verheijen's a wide target man? Could he be going asymmetric? I don't know.
Maybe.
But then he hasn't really got. I suppose you could play Bosvelt on the right of midfield, play a left back. So again, these are the kind of weird formations that inexplicably work in CMO 102. But I suspect if you try to play them on FM 22, you'd lose 7-0. So I mean, he's not going to play Well, that's the thing, because Candela's right-footed, but he's a left back.
He says that was one of the weird... as a right back, so he'd probably be all right.
Yeah, I'd still prefer him on the left personally. But yeah, I think he's going to play with with what we said there, the Belgian guy on the a right back.
Let's have a look. So we've got the other picks going through now. So let's take a look at Sweet Left Foot's team. He's just taking Hugo Ibarra as his last pick, who is another right back. Everyone going for right backs as final picks. We're gonna. Would you say Marcus Babbel? He's going to be his right back, or is he going to be a centre back? Probably. He's
I would say centre back.
Centre back.
Angloma's going to be the right back, right? Jocelyn.
You would think so, yeah.
Well, we're assuming a regular formation. Like Serginho here, I wouldn't play Serginho in defence. I'd be playing him on left wing up the top. But I don't know where he plan on using him. Has he got a left winger?
Yeah.
He's got Gustavo Lopez.
My gut with this squad is that he will struggle a little.
Henri, Heskey, Fowler, Bergkamp. As I
mean,
said,
you
it was
just said
very.
Heskey. You can't be serious.
Yeah.
As if that's a good. Henri is good. Henri is good, but like
I think
Henri's
he will.
a little shy of some of the other players in this database.
If Heskey's top goal scorer by the end of the weekend, what do we say?
I'll give
Nothing.
you 10
Nothing. We
subs
move
if
on.
he's the top goal
We don't address it. We just.
What if Danny Mills was player of the tournament?
Stinger's just raided in, so let's take a look at Stinger's. Thank you for the raid, Stinger. Let's have a look at Stinger's.
Yes.
Go on, let's rip it to shreds. He's only got one goalkeeper. Big risk. He's forgotten that we're not playing in draft mode. We're playing in regular mode.
Oh yeah. So this was when we looked at this earlier on. We're saying there was definite potential. His centre backs are slow because Hierro, Radibi, and Campbell are about the same pace as me.
Mm-hmm.
Radibi's quick. Look, 17 and 16.
Bloody hell. What's he been injecting?
And Campbell's 15 and 17. Are you secretly a sprinter, Neil? You're secretly.
Sol Campbell, 17 pace.
Yeah.
I am
can't
very
remember
much.
He was fairly speedy, though, wasn't he? He was pacey,
Yeah, I think Sol Campbell was.
rangy, athletic. Yeah.
This is fairly.
Konstantin
mid-career.
Galka. Konstantin Galka's a nice little niche pick, actually.
Yep, he's got some good attributes in there. Some of the physicals.
Free kick taking, long shots, his technicals. He's a budget Riquelme.
Ruben Baraka. We like.
I remember Baraka flattering to deceive. Umit Davala might be an interesting one.
Yeah.
We can have a quick look at him. I don't think we looked at him earlier. Here you go. So his physicals are a little on the low side for this database, but it's a good set of technicals and mentals there. Good at tackle. Like he's got really strong tackling and marking for someone so high up the pitch. If you're playing a press or something like that, you're playing something where you're really putting the pressure on the opposition. He could nick the ball a couple of times, get it in, and nick some quick goals.
But then move it off to Mehmet Scholl and Rivaldo, you're away.
Yep.
So is the idea have the midfield compact? We were saying before about not actually having a proper ball winner, but you've got players like if the ball does pop out, Pirlo can ping a pass, Rivaldo can ping a pass, Scholl can drive on and smash one from distance.
Same with Galka. Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
The through balls to Ronaldo to run to Anelka to run on to, like, is that the tactic? Hound teams and then feed the scraps out.
What do you think of? Do you think Ronaldo starts? And do you think he goes for Ronaldo and Anelka? Would you play Anelka as well? Or do you think you just go Ronaldo and Anelka as the backup, or Jardem?
I think Jardel might be your one that starts. I remember his stats being pretty killer.
Side, but he's a good target man. Yeah, you'd probably use him as a target man.
Well, you've got lots of guys who can cross.
Yep, and when you got
or is it a bluff and it's strikerless, and you've got Ronaldo and Anelka sat on the bench?
It's possible.
And you're going with a couple of attacking midfielders. You've got Rivaldo and
I think Rivaldo's your strongest player there. They're one of the strongest players in the database by far. I'm surprised he didn't go maybe first.
Definitely.
All right, let's have a look. Where did we get to? So we did the first two, didn't we? If we can get back to the screen, here we go. We have. They're still going with their final picks. Let's go. JD, we looked at Sweet Left Foot. So let's have a look at Reese's team. Here we go. Jersey Dudek and Iker Casillas as the keepers. I mean, this is the defense. This was Danny Mills. We looked at this, didn't we, a minute ago? I wonder what Patrick Berger's like in 2001. Is he at Liverpool at this point? I'd imagine he's just joined Liverpool in 2001.
Yes, he would have been at Liverpool, definitely.
Yeah.
And then
He was at Liverpool until 2003. Yeah, he's been with Liverpool for 5 years at this point.
okay,
Must have been just
joined
before he started
Portsmouth in
getting...
2003, I believe.
Yeah, he does.
There you go, another Pompey legend. About Paolo Di Canio, how does Paolo Di Canio only have 14 aggression? He assaulted didn't he assault the ref? That was Di Canio, right?
Maybe
He
he's
hasn't
at this point.
He hasn't even got argues with ref on here. I mean, assaults the ref should be more appropriate.
Well, I suppose. Well, it's 2001. He would have done this by now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He should have fascism 20 as well.
It's right wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he plays on the right wing.
Excellent work. Mal has asked us to rate his team out of 10. So let's go have a quick look at Mal. Where is he? He took Claudio Pizarro as his last pick. Lobby Town. Here we go. Sander Westerveld, Fabian Barthez. Which of those two do you reckon is the starting keeper? Probably Barthez, right?
Barthez, surely.
Should be.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at Westerveld. Yeah,
He is
Barthez,
very good at the start of the game.
The now racing driver Fabian
And
Barthez.
So in defence, we've got Ayala and Desai. Contra I really like as a right back. And Maldini, I assume, would be the left back. Angelino Delivio will be... I guess he's cover all the way across. He doesn't really cover centre that well. He's more of a DM, maybe.
Does he need him to cover centre back though?
Well, he's got Johan.
Maldini could technically cover centre back if he needs.
He's got Mialbi, who he can cover centre back with as well.
Yeah.
And then let's have a look. So we've got Vogel in there. We've got Freddie Ljungberg. We've got Mackay, who you called out earlier, Neil. Robert, Tomasi. He's taken 6 strikers according to this. Well, he's got Mackay in there as well, so maybe 7 strikers. And Robert could apparently even play up top. Pizarro, Trezeguet. So he took Trezeguet late on. He's surprised he was there so long. Ebe Sand, Enrico Chiesa. What do you think about this? I mean, there's the Rizai is obviously the target man in there. Would you rate Mouse? You'd like a rating out of 10?
6.
6?
Is that 1 for each striker?
Well, I just think there's not enough. I don't think there's enough depth in there. None of those strikers can sort of play on the wing. So it's not like you've got 6 strikers, but you know some of them.
3 up top defensive wingers.
Yeah.
I think he's going to 4 up top. I think he's going to play Mackay out wide left.
Or 5 up top, maybe. I have seen.
Chiesa wide right.
Chiesa wide right, and then Trezeguet wide, and Pizarro through the middle with Trezeguet possibly. Maybe Ebe Sand as a target man.
I think he's playing into the with a couple of target men up top with Trezeguet or Pizarro in between. Pizarro is very good.
My problem for him is suspensions and injuries.
Yes, if he can stay
back line.
Yeah,
if he could stay injury and suspension free, this squad could win it. But it's also Mal, so purely from a nostalgia point of view, I love this squad. I would give it a 9, purely for a giggle. Because there's a lot of good players there. If he finds a tactic that clicks with 3 strikers, with as you say, two kind of target men and 1 in between, I think this could be really, really difficult to stop. The problem is he just has absolutely no depth in the centre of the park if Vogel kicks someone into row Q.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I'll go down the middle. Then, so what? You went with a 6 and a 9. I'll go with it. I'll go with a 7. Say like attacking options. Very, very good, but you're right. It's a bit lightweight in the middle for me personally.
I'm going to assume Chiesa's playing out wide. Chiesa's
like in terms of actual centre midfielders, you've got 1, 2, 3, and then the rest are like yellows.
Yes.
So even in midfield, it's just a bit scary. It's a risk. Fair play. Go for it.
Would you not have picked? Yeah, you could have picked Riquelme instead of bloody Pizarro. Or no, did Riquelme end up getting picked?
I don't know. We'll have to have a look at the pool.
I don't think so. It shouts 4-2-4 to me.
Keg, stop moving us forwards. He's moving us forwards. I'm trying to look at things. All right, who do we get to next? Where do we get to? We've done Mal.
We were kind of skipping about a wee bit, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to go for them in order, but I can't now. So do we do? This is whose team was this? Is Trek's team, right? So we're Edwin van der Sar.
Do you want the order?
It's okay. We'll go through them. I'll remember if we've done them.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting pushed forward again. Oh my god! Can someone tell Mozza to stop pushing us forward? We've got Emrys and Term.
They're gonna do some practice games.
I don't know what he's doing. Igor Tudor. Here you go.
Didn't Hans-Jörg Butt have really good penalty taking attribute or something?
Yes.
Didn't he score a lot of goals back in the day as well? So
I don't know if we
is
can
he a kind of like
give
a
us-
little bonus pick for if we get to
He does
the
18
knockout
penalties.
stages and you?
It's there.
Because there's the famous video of him celebrating
Yeah.
and then straight from kickoff getting lobbed.
Yes. Yes. So that's a really smart pick, actually. That's a really interesting pick.
Veron, Keane, Gattuso, Andreas Moller.
There's your battle in midfield. Isn't it?
Yeah, I gotta say,
That's
yeah.
it. I mean, that's some red. You're lucky you haven't got Keane. You've got Keane and Gattuso on the same team. Do you think they fight each other? I reckon they'd fight each other. Who would win in a fight?
Probably.
Gattuso and Roy Keane.
He's
Has he got
picked
20
Dario
potions? He does.
Hubner as well.
Oh, imagine a game now as Gattuso Napoli manager if he still is, and Roy Keane as a manager, both of them on the touchline. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
He does know he can pick strikers under the age of 30, right?
He's gone for a couple of target men.
Oh, sorry,
again.
he has-
He's popular target men. He's got Luca
He has
Toni
picked Tony, but otherwise it's all...
and Dario Hubner.
Yeah.
Which are good target men. Actually, he has 19 finishing and he's not too slow.
Luca
Dario
Toni,
Hubner.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Luca Toni was great.
Yeah.
He did go for Salas as well.
Quite
who I was just looking
often-
at earlier.
Quite often on the original game, Tony would get relegated with Brescia in the first season, and you'd get him for a wee release clause of about, I don't know, 2.2 million, and you could play with him for 10 seasons and he'd get 30, 40 goals a season. He was great.
We've just had raids both from Omega Luke and Pumpster, so let's grab their teams up. Let's grab Luke's team up first because we haven't looked at those yet. Bonanno and Peruzzi is the goalkeeper, or the goalkeepers, so he's gone for both. I imagine Peruzzi is going to be the first choice. Okay, if we just check Peruzzi, yeah. Well, it's tough. There's not much between them. Gabriel Heinz, Gary Neville is there. Ronnie Johnson, Martin Keown, Willie Sagnol, Silvino Montero. That's
Look
a
at
fairly
that
strong
for a
defense.
strike force.
What's the strike force? Duncan Ferguson, Andrei Shevchenko, and Michael Owen. I don't know about what's Duncan Ferguson like? Actually, he's got 20 heading. Well, he's not bad. He's a little bit on the slow side.
Yeah, I was
but,
I was interested because he's picked Lee Bowyer as well. I was like, legend.
Lee Bowyer was brilliant on this game. My first glance view of this is the strongest squad we've seen so far. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of depth. You can see where they create chances. You can see who'll score them. I think they can probably play in 2 or 3 different systems as well. I like this a lot. Damiano Zanoni is a great pickup.
there was that
Tedesco's a good DM.
That Ronaldinho pick that
Yeah.
didn't go till like round 10 or something ridiculous.
Also,
Yeah,
also as well, it's players who aren't at the end of their career
Mhm.
as well. These are like players
Yeah.
who are bang on. Like you're right. There's a clear thought process here.
Zielius
Rather than just-
Zielius and Giovanni are clearly someone who
Mhm.
knows about them as well, because Zielius is
Yeah.
brilliant on the original game, if a
Mhm.
little violent. So maybe a suspension risk with some of them, but this is a good squad.
I mean, look how good
Yeah.
Simeone
Yeah, it's a good
is. I
squad.
thought Simeone played further up the field, but maybe it was just in internationals he did. But yeah, like even his tackling and stuff. He's gone for violence. Lucas said he's gone for violence. I hope we get Luke's
Yeah.
team. Who were we looking just now? We were looking at Trek's team. Luke versus Trek. Trek with Gattuso and Roy Keane versus this team with Simeone.
Or
Martin
like,
Keown.
is it possible to have the game abandoned in the first half? Quite possibly if those two
Hopefully we
teams
haven't
play
got
each other.
those Samonorese refs again who are just going to send everyone off. We're going to have red cards galore.
Yeah.
Well, there could be a potential where both of those squads end up towards the latter stage of the competition, and they can only field 7 players because everyone's suspended or injured. So it could turn out very, very exciting.
I think this is definitely one of the stronger lineups that we've seen. Let's have a look at Shevchenko's. I
It's
think
great.
we looked at him,
It's
but he
great.
was one of the. I think he was first round pick, maybe even. Because he went
second
super
round.
quick. Was he second
Yeah.
round? But he was certainly one of the pricier picks in the game. Quick, some good mentals, and good finishing, some solid technicals in there as well. Owen went first round. okay.
Yeah.
Let's have it. Let's go take a look at Pumpster. Where are we at? So Toldo, we saw. Wait, what is this? Is this a? How is? Oh,
Is that just a
he's given it. So it's given them players. Where
Rod
they're missing
Phillips?
some.
He's got one
Yeah,
keeper.
he gives him. So he won't actually have him. So he'll have Toldo. So if he loses the keeper, he's in trouble. He's gone for the one goalkeeper. This is
Reece Martin's nearly as good as Danny Mills.
Reece Martin's
His
nearly as
backup
good as Danny Mills. Maybe as the backup keeper, yeah. This midfield is strong. This is got to be the strongest midfield, I think. Look, Zadorf was a very late pick as well, I believe. You didn't see him go for a long time. But you've also got, did I see David Ginola, Zinedine Zidane, Del Piero, Harry Kewell, Mark Van Bommel, Claude Makelele, Steve McManaman. Look at that. Every one of those players you could imagine starting. Zambrotta.
Van Bommel's going to be really, really important.
Yeah,
if they can keep him suspension free.
Van Bommel and Seedorf, and you're saying long shots.
Are
strong. That's two really.
Was Zidane either playing in the middle or ahead of them? I think that's the best midfield, and we've also Claude Makelele. I think that's the strongest midfield we've seen.
Yeah, definitely. Every one of those would be in the first team.
Yeah,
agreed.
He's got Collar and Crespo as forward options. His defense isn't bad either.
I think Pumpster's.
He's slowly got about his business here, He's slowly got about his business.
Other than picking the wrong Zanetti. Oh no! Wait, sorry, no, that's Mozza.
We haven't got Mozza.
Yeah,
we can get to him next. He's just rated him. We've got Penguin and Mozza in. We haven't done their teams yet. We've done Mal's team already. Let's have a quick look at Romario, because I don't think we looked at him earlier. This is latter career Romario, I assume. You see his physicals have declined a little bit. He's still very strong in the actual finishing of the ball, so that could be key for him.
There's a lot to like about this team, to be honest.
I would assume Crespo and Collar will be the starting two, or maybe he's going to go for one up top.
Well, what about Del Piero? Would you put Del Piero up front? I'd put Crespo and Del Piero
Del
up
Piero
front.
probably go up top as well, perhaps. So his finishing isn't great. But...
Could you take a quick look at the defense again?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe just have Collar up top on his own, and then have everyone else play around him, because Collar would be an absolute beast.
This is the right Zanetti. This is not the wrong Zanetti. This is the right Zanetti. Mozza, this is the Zanetti you wanted.
This is the Danny Mills.
You didn't want Cristiano.
Yeah, he's come in and straight away gone hashtag the right Zanetti.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh no. Sweet Left Foot's just come in with a raise. We did look at Sweet Left Foot's team earlier on.
I suppose if he starts Cordoba at left back, I'm not convinced by Coco, but otherwise that's a pretty damn good defense.
Yeah, he hasn't really got a left back in there, has he?
You got Zambrotta. You could maybe shoehorn there as well.
Francesco Coco's okay. I mean, there's not really an issue there, I don't think. Maybe the first touch.
Oh, he's bullshit. No.
I think it's because Zanetti's that good.
Having one is a risk, though.
Yeah.
Because these players go forward, back. They'll put in those challenges. They'll pick up a yellow card here and there. And then if you are playing with a wing back and only to have one, if you were to lose him, then you've got to come up with a whole different tactic.
I guess that's where Zambrotta's maybe actually categorised maybe in the wrong place. And I would say he's more defensive than midfielder. So if you were to do that,
Zambrotta's got a yellow down left wing back, so I assume he could do something there.
He'd be fine.
There's nothing wrong. He'll be fine. He'll be fine there. So
it is a bloody good squad. There's no doubt about that.
That midfield is a bit scary. Let's
until
go.
Todo gets a straight red in the first game.
We've just had Mozza.
But as I know very well, if you have the best team, it doesn't mean you win anything on these drafts.
Yeah, I mean, we're second guessing what people's tactics. They might not be using wing backs or full backs at all. They might go three at the back with wide centre backs and play. I mean, with that team, Pumpster could just play a big midfield.
Well, Mozza must be going two at the back.
Two at the back. Who's he got? Let's have a look. So we got Kovac, we got Frank de Boer, we got Belletti, Cesar, Lorison, and Jaap Stam. Any of the midfield? None of the midfielders cover those positions.
Oh no, I suppose you've got Belletti and Cesar, but
I mean that's quite a light. There's not a lot of cover. That's Belletti's decent as a right back, but who's the backup right back if he loses him? Like Martin Lorison?
Cristiano Zanetti. Oh no, wait, sorry, wrong Zanetti.
Let's have a quick look at the wrong Zanetti. Where is he? Cristiano Zanetti. Here he is. He's not the worst, but I mean, what was it? A second round pick?
He's fine, but it's like putting Dino Baggio up front when you thought you were picking Roberto Baggio. It'll do a job, but it's not the right one. Like it's like picking Phil Neville when you mean Gary Neville. It's fine.
All of his stats, he's very he's nice to his family, he's kind to animals, but he's not the best footballer. Like, why are you picking him so early? That's a bonkers strike force as well.
Alan Shearer. Let's have a quick look at Alan Shearer. He's really slow, Alan Shearer, at this stage of his career. But otherwise,
I think when I was in his chat earlier, they were talking about. I think this is post leg break. I think that was about 2000.
He retired from international football around this point. I remember. There's the pace. Sylvain Wiltord, 18 pace, 18 acceleration, 20 agility. So he's gonna get there. And then
Henrik Larsson was his first pick.
What do we think about Henrik Larsson as a first pick?
I think you could have got him as a third pick.
Or a 10th pick.
I mean, Moza, this was not just the first pick. This was the second pick in the entire game. Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
Rivaldo was still on the board. Raul was still on the board.
I think
Zinedine Zidane was still on the board.
The one thing I will say for Moza is, having watched him draft before, if he likes a player, he'll take him to make sure he gets him. So if he's picking Larsson first, there must be method to his madness. I'm sure he's got a tactic. I'm sure he's got a plan. Looking at it, I can't work out what it is. But I also don't play FM22 and I'm an idiot. So, yeah.
It's true. I would agree with you. He has to want Larsson for a specific reason to pick him that early, because he would have been available second round. So that's I understand that part in drafting, but at the same time, if you want a player, for me, when you draft, you've got to establish when they're going to go, because there's no point in picking Henrik Larsson second overall when you could get a Rivaldo, for example, and then you want Henrik Larsson. You think he will still be around on the second pick, or second round, or third round, and I could get one or two other top players, and then I get Larsson. Because when I draft, I go, all right, at this point, if this player is still on the board in the fourth round, this is when I go, right? And that's normally like a Underwood or a Goretzka if he's still here, this is when I go.
I mean, he is saying he does have a plan, and looking at it, you've potentially got. I mean, you can see Vieira in defensive midfield along with Fiore and Nedved just pinging passes about, and suddenly that's a stunning central three if they come off. But I then don't understand who the other 7 people filling out jerseys are. I can't work out who the 11 is here. It seems to be 8 and some shoehorns. But
odd mix.
Who knows?
I'm sure we'll find out Moz's plan on Sunday. Let's see who have we not looked at yet. Then we've not looked at Penguin yet, so let's have a quick look at Penguin. I don't think we looked at Penguin's team at all this evening. So let's start here. He's got Abiatu. He's gone for the one keeper approach. I'm assuming Dave Kirby is not a real keeper. No, he's not. So he's gone for the risky one keeper approach. Let's hope for no injuries for his sake. Mikkel Sylvester, Olaf Melberg, Laurent Blanc. What do we think of this team? I'll start with you. Go on, Neil. What's your immediate? I'll show you the strike.
This has a lot. This has a lot of my kind of favorite players in the game in it, and I want to love this squad. I really want to love it. Could he be going strikerless looking at this?
He's got Saviola.
2 strikers on the board, I'd say. So yeah.
Saviola, I mean, I could see Saviola maybe starting up front by himself, but
he could play behind as a shadow striker, couldn't he?
There's a lot of
you've got Mendieta and Totti and Ortega and
Edgar Davids
Carboni. God, if you had Marcelo Gallardo in this squad as well, then I would need to censor myself. Like, creatively, this is an incredible squad. I'm a little concerned about his defense, though.
He's got Edgar Davids sat in front of him. Look at Edgar Davids' physicals, and then look at his marking and tackling and his teamwork. He should be pretty solid in front of that defense.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at these centre defenses. He's got Melberg. He's a little bit on the slow side, but otherwise he looks pretty. He looks solid.
Is he? Yeah,
Good,
is he
good for
better
set
than
players, though, I
anyone
suppose.
now?
He would have just come to Villa at that point.
He's got Laurent Blanc.
Is it a 3-5-2 or a 3-3-6-1 or something maybe?
Must be 4-6-0, proper Craig Levine-esque stuff.
Yeah, there's not really any. There's no. Has he got wing? Unless he plays Sylvester out wide. He hasn't got a right. Well, he's got Salgado as a right back. So if any injuries to right back
Helguera
and
must
left
be
back,
playing it.
Well, at this point, Silvestro was a wing back for
Yeah.
Manchester United.
yeah,
Helguera must be playing at centre back.
And
He
Salgado,
is
Real
a centre
Madrid.
back as well.
so he's got
Mendieta
Helguera
is your
there as
backup
well.
right back. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to really cheeky, man. I'm going to have to ditch down and
No, that's
check out on the
absolutely
little
fine.
ones, but I will
That's fine.
see everyone on Sunday. Appreciate that, everyone. Thoroughly enjoyed it, boys. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Sunday. I'm
See you
looking
on
forward to this. This
Sunday.
is going to be great. This is going to be great. Right.
Cheers,
Take it
mate.
easy.
See ya.
He's gone. He's gone. We've ditched him. Right. I think we've only got 2 teams left to go through, and
ditched
then we
him.
will finish. We'll who we not looked at? We've gone through. We haven't looked at Draconis, have we? Let's have a look.
I think we've seen his final one now.
Oliver Kahn and David Seaman. We saw that, didn't we? So there's a lot more defenders in this team.
Bronckhorst.
He was hoarding these defenders. Roberto.
So this
Carlos,
could
I
be
like
5
that.
at the back, but a lot of wing backs. A lot of wing
Mm.
backs.
But he's not got any. Well, I suppose he's got Manuel Pablo at right wing back, but he seems to, and Stephen Carr as well. It's going to have to be, isn't it?
Well, Manuel Pablo's okay. I think that's got to be the right back.
Yeah.
And then, like midfield, he took that Lampard and Barry Ferguson. When there were some other players still on the board, surprised me. He's not bad, but when Ronaldinho or someone was still available. Paul Lambert.
How's he going to score goals?
Yeah, this team, he's got good players, but they're not like splendid players, right? They're not like great players.
This team's crying out for. I mean, who have you got as your defenders there? Like, looking at that, you could easily have shed, let's say, Graham Lasso and picked Riquelme. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely
worried
need
about how
somebody.
this team scores goals.
Because he's got
He's
maybe
only got
4
one,
left backs there.
2, 3 centre backs, right? So 3 centre backs.
4 left backs
Yeah.
and 2 right backs.
So like 5 at the back. You think 5 at the back, but then, well, it has
Yeah.
to be 5 at the back
Well, Von
because I don't know where
Bronckhorst,
you play all
He
those.
could be playing up, further up the pitch.
And same with Risa, he could play in midfield. The problem I see with this is I don't see how he's going to create chances. Penguin's pointing out he's got Batistuta. I mean, you could have whoever you want up there. If there aren't passes going to come into him, he's not going to be able to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Batistuta is ridiculously good on this, but I just don't see. I mean, De Boer maybe going to play off him, or I don't know.
It started well. Like he had Roberto Carlos, Batistuta, and then Oliver Kahn was his first pick. So it started well, but I feel like
the game's decided he hasn't got enough midfielders and given him a bonus midfielder as well.
Yeah.
'Cause he's
So
only got
I
5
think
midfielders.
unless he can work magic with this side, and we know that Draconis can, it feels like a group stage exit at the moment.
Yeah,
That's my
he's got no
prediction.
one, who plays on the right hand side? You got no one on the
I'm just a
right-hand
bit
side.
confused about
Well-
what his plan was. I can't really see a plan.
No.
He's got, I mean, right winger wise. Yeah, I don't know.
3-5-2. Someone in the chat saying a 3-5-2, but I don't know if he's got the 5 in them. He's only got 5 midfielders.
Well,
with the wing
unless
backs,
you're saying
use the
3 at
wing
the back
backs.
with the 2 wing backs, because
Yeah.
like 3-5-2, 5-3-2, it's the same thing in my opinion.
Yeah. Possible. I think. Is there any we didn't look at? I think we looked at them all now. Apologies if we did miss one. I'm just having a quick look, see if there's one we missed.
Yeah, I think we've covered most
We've
of them.
covered them. We've
His
covered them.
Penguin squad, Newcastle.
Yeah. Did we not look at the Penguin squad? I thought we looked at it a second
I
ago. Yeah,
think
we
we
did look at
did.
it.
Yeah, no, if that's
No.
Penguins, yeah, we have. Yeah.
So there's 11 teams on that, so we must be missing one.
Oh, you're right. We are missing one. The one we are missing.
there's got to be 12 teams in there, right? Because
Reese's team isn't there, but we did look.
oh
at
no,
Reese's
because your team. Oh
team. My
yeah,
team's in there. I don't know who it gave me.
your
Do you reckon it
team.
gave me anyone good? Oh, look at this.
Raquel
Jonathan
me.
Woodgate, Tony Adams,
So
Christian Kivu, Joan
this
Collar.
is the random. This is the randomized team
Of players who
Yeah.
haven't been selected. Thomas Rosicky, Leonardo, Alan Smith up top.
Igor Bischan and Olivier Decor as defensive midfielders.
Alan Smith
Are-
might get paid. Elisa Dibi. I got Elisa Dibi.
Marco Di
This is not a bad team. I would like to test this out. Like some of these players you think could have fitted into those other teams, right? Robbie
Yeah.
Keane.
Yeah.
Not many defenders though.
No, you're
No.
going to have to play a back
Yeah, you
three.
wouldn't have a midfield. You wouldn't have a good defense. Although Biscan can play right back. You've got a few players you can play.
Estebarian, Rositsky, and oh god,
Yeah, there's some good players there, isn't there?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's some of the ones who are probably not selected. Okay, so the playoffs will be back on Sunday with the actual tournament matches. It's time for us to chuck out our raid. Where do we like to go? Do you have any suggestions? I'm just gonna have a quick look, see who we have. I'll tell you what. Let's go to he's not on Football Manager. Oh, that's no good. Let's go to Draconis is still streaming. Is Draconis playing? If Draconis is playing, we'll go. Is he looking at his team? Oh, he is playing. Let's go visit Draconis. He's two-time semi-finalist. I've got to type in his name now. Who's he playing as in his game? Bath City. So let's go visit him. We'll check out the raid now. So we're back on Sunday. Scooter will be your host on Sunday. Neil, thank you very much for coming. Neil, where can people find you?
You can find me talking bollocks at CMOnTheRocks on Twitter.
Perfect. Yeah, you're doing all your Championship Manager 102. I think you're being called. Your time's up. I've heard the kids this evening running right in the background.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to let you go. And Jack's obviously soldiered through with hopefully not COVID. I hope not, but a cold or something.
No, it's not COVID. I've tested negative twice.
Oh, thank God for that.
It feels like I should have had COVID.
Yeah. So I hope you get better, Jack.
'cause
Jack, where can people find you?
It's not been the prettiest sore throat, but we've survived.
Yeah, Jack, where can people find you?
At GoofyGiord on Twitch and on Twitter. Go drop me a follow. Come say hi.
Yep.
Playing as Forest Green Rovers at the moment on Twitch. So yeah, having fun.
Oh, nice, Jack. You are also the man now behind the Super League. I think that has been announced, right?
Indeed, it has been announced.
So,
Yes,
you
it's
know,
very
if
true.
anyone
Yeah,
wants to
looking
get
forward to
involved
that.
with the
So
Super League, go see this man.
come and give us a follow. Come say who you are, because yeah, anyone can get in on that. So we won't be starting for a little bit yet, but yeah, just watch this space with the FM Super League.
There we go. I'm SiMaggio. You can find me at SiMaggio on Twitter. I think it's SiMaggio FM on Twitter, but also YouTube, Twitch. And yeah, I'll be watching along with everyone else on Sunday. So let's go see what Draconis is up to with Bath. Let's go give him a visit. I haven't pressed the raid button. Let's do that. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Here we go. Now we're going. Thank you very much, guys, and see everyone Sunday. Just gotta wait for this timer to count down now.